strongest under 80 kilo men in the country. I'm joined at the desk by Nicole Jenrich, aka Big G, aka two-time Australia's strongest woman and third strongest woman in the world. How you going, G?
Mason, I'm good, thank you. I'm excited to be here, and it's going to be a great show.
Yeah, cool. It's going to be a big one. So this is actually the first time we have run the lightweights as a title series on its own. They've always been in a bigger show, but it's time for the lightweights to have their own stage. And, man, we're putting them to the test in the next 2 days.
Oh, 100%. It's going to be an epic weekend.
So we will be going live out on the floor in a couple of minutes. The athletes will be presented by our MC, Tim O'Shea. He's a man of many years' experience on the strength floor. So Tim will bring them out. We've got 9 of the strongest under 64 women and 7 of the strongest under 80 gents in the country. They'll be with us in a couple of minutes. 4 events. So we start with the max log today. It's 3 attempts to put a huge steel cylinder over your head. The heaviest log attempt wins.
We're going to see some massive numbers. Like, these women are weighing under 64 kilos, and I know for a fact some are going to be pushing 80, 90 kilos above their heads. So that's just insane.
Yeah, and I chatted with some of the under 80 fellas. They're sort of, they weren't happy with their training, but they were still talking about like 120, 130 kilos. First event, straight off the bat. Then they're going to go from max log into the yoke carry. So that is a huge steel frame. They pick it up on their shoulders, and they just got to run 20 metres as quick as they possibly can. The women are carrying 220 kilos, and they'll race head-to-head, and then the gents will be up to 320 kilos. So quick maths.
Almost 3 times body weight.
That's 4.
4 times body weight.
8 4's 32? Yeah, 4 times body weight.
Yeah,
for
wow.
the under 80 fellas.
Wow.
So extreme weight. It's heavier than any of them squat or deadlift.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
picking it up on their shoulders, and they got to run. And some of these competitors will run. So,
they're going to be moving fast.
Yeah, that's event number 2. Event number 3, it's, to my knowledge, the first time this event has been run anywhere. It's a carpool, and we've named it the worst carpool ever.
And why is that, Mason?
I can confirm it is the worst carpool ever. They are using a spindle and a winch, and they can only grip it with their hands, and they're going to roll that winch towing a giant Toyota Land Cruiser, and the ladies will be pulling a Mustang towards themselves. It's horrible. Like, I tested it yesterday. My hands have got blisters.
Look, if I'm honest, I'm glad our event involving the car at our title series is a car flip.
Yeah, absolutely.
And not the worst carpool ever.
Yeah, so what G's referring to is she is competing at Australia's Strongest Woman for the Open category, and that will be at Meatstock Sydney in April.
Yep.
And some of the events are the same, but some of them are different. We're doing the car pull here. They'll be doing the car flip. They're the bigger athletes. They're flipping the whole car. So event number 4 is the Bilson's freight race.
Yes.
It's a Zercher carry, which means they'll carry a frame in the crook of their elbows, loaded up with slabs of Bilson's drinks, and they're going to belt down and back over a 20-metre course as fast as they possibly can.
I'm excited for this one because I think a lot of them are going to be moving real fast.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of training videos. The weight was a little bit tricky to pick from a promoter point of view. It'll be fast. So I think anybody that messes up, or anybody that doesn't get a quick turnaround,
it's going to cost them points.
Yeah, so that'll be really good. So 4 events today, 4 events tomorrow. We'll cover those later. We've got some time. But we are about to bring these athletes out onto the floor. We are going to cross to Tim on the floor to announce Australia's strongest man and woman lightweights for 2024.
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Australia's Strongest, brought to you by One Strength SBD, Stand or Submit Steel and Stone Gym, Strength Workshop, ARB Capalbar, and of course to the good folk at Meatstock. We got some of the strongest lightweight men and women competing over the next 2 days in 8 classic strongman events. The first event will be the log lift, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But I'd like to introduce your athletes. First athlete is a Queenslander, Ray Vogler. Another Queenslander from Harvey Bay is Taylor Bartz. All the way from Adelaide is Louise Story. And from Northside Brisbane is Tamika Mead. From Tasmania and loving the heat is Josie Hamer. All the way from Melbourne, another one loving the heat is Heidi Huma. Our South Australian, Maddie Heath. From Melbourne, Tanita Northcott. And your reigning champion, she flew in this week from competing in Europe, Camilla Fogagnolo. Ladies and gentlemen, these are your lightweight women competing today for the title of Australia's strongest lightweight. And now we'll move out the men. The under 80 kilos, the lightweight men. Out of Victoria from Bacchus Marsh, he's a train driver, Ben Kleinberg. He's got to squeeze past the ladies on his way out. He'll be out in a sec. That's Ben Kleinberg. He'll be worth the squeeze, I promise. There he is, Ben Kleinberg. He even looks like a train driver. Coming from Perth, Dan Bonney. Another Victorian from Bendigo is Sam Rice. And another Victorian, I tend to think this might be rigged, this one, Michael Berry. And there's a Queenslander from the Gold Coast, Jack Allsbrook. Give a big cheer for Jack, he's a Queenslander. A South Australian, Alec Wallace. And your reigning champion from South Australia, Carl Sherry. Comes out with his hands up so you can decide straight up if he's a hero or villain. But he's South Australian, so that might help you with your decision. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, these are your 80 kilos, your lightweight men. They'll be contesting for the contest of Australia's strongest man over the next 2 days. I'll give them a big cheer as they walk off the stage now. So in just a minute, we will have the athletes out here for the log lift. Now, log lift is a traditional strongman event. It's been a strongman event since, I believe, 1980. Bill Kazmaier lifted 157 kilos in the 4th World's Strongest Man. And ever since, it's been a staple of strongman events. The athletes will have 3 attempts to lift the highest weight possible. So the women will come out first. They'll have 3 attempts. They'll be starting with 60 kilos on the log. Of course, these are metal logs, steel logs made by Stand or Submit. Check their website out. Go like them on Facebook if you want. But it's loaded to 60 kilos. Tamika Mee will be your first athlete. We'll see her out there very shortly.
All right, so there are our athletes for the day. Now, all of you at home, you probably have this idea of what a strongman competitor looks like. 6'10", 200 kilo giant. And look, traditionally, that's where the sport was. You know, all the giants for the men and women. But we run all the weight classes, so everybody can jump in because, you know, it's not fair if you're only 6 foot like I am and 70 kilos to try and go up against someone that's 200 kilos. It's not going to happen.
Yeah,
so,
and it's a sport everyone can do.
Yeah, absolutely. But don't be fooled by their statures. We are going to see some massive numbers today. The women are out on the floor getting ready for their first attempts on the log.
Yep. Well, their starting weight is 60 kilos.
Yeah, so the lightest attempt that these women can take is 60 kilos. So that's 4 kilos under their body weight that they weighed in at yesterday. That's significant.
Yep.
And for those at home that have done any overhead pressing on a barbell,
it's not the same.
This is not a barbell. This is a log. So
yep.
they're on the 10-inch log. The weight is way out in front of them. It's super awkward.
We've got our first athlete going now, Tamika.
All right. So correct me if I'm wrong. This is one of your athletes, G.
She is one of mine.
Oh,
yeah.
Now I see why you wanted the gig. You wanted front and centre.
Front row seats.
All right. There's a hushed silence over the crowd.
Everyone's ready. Now a little bit.
So not quite there, but she's got 3 attempts, which means she can rest up.
And is it one legitimate attempt per attempt, or is it a 60-second cap?
Nah, so there's 60 seconds, and they can take 2 reasonable attempts at lifting the log. So after that second attempt, there's probably not a lot of chances going up.
No,
they can go away, have a rest, and they've got 2 more attempts after.
Yeah.
So 60 kilos on the log. She's attempting that split jerk movement there, so she's diving underneath it, but just not quite there. But she can take that weight again.
like I know for my client, Tamika, this will be a huge PB for her.
Yeah, that's great. Like, imagine that. You walked out, you're the first athlete up. There's probably 200 people here, and she's got to walk out at above a weight that she's lifted before.
100%. So there's a lot of pressure too on the athletes.
So successful left there for Taylor at 60 kilos.
Good start.
So she banks that, and now she can choose what her next weight is. So she could take the minimum jump, which is 2.5 kilos, or she could opt for something even heavier.
Yeah.
So Josie Haymore now, she's from Tassie, I believe. Relatively new to the sport, but I've heard some whispers she is crazy strong. So,
and there's 60 kilos on that bar now, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and that's the thing, like, some of the athletes coming out, they won't be opening on 60. So some might be opening on 70 or even 75, but the bare minimum is 60. So we're going to see some big lifts right now.
Successful lift there. So we are jumping up to 65 kilos. So as G said, you can select your first weight. It has to be at or above the minimum.
Yeah.
So 60 was the minimum. But we're going 65 for Tanita Northcote's first attempt. She's the Victorian, coached by Camilla out of South Australia. So we've got coach and athlete both competing against each other.
Yeah.
That's pretty common in strongman and strongwoman, though. Like, it's a small community.
Yeah.
All right, so the load is just setting that weight now. There's, again, a hushed silence in the shed.
It's also like a hard thing to balance, too, if you're coaching and competing at the same time.
All right, Tanita.
All right.
There's
Easy
the clean.
Easy
Fast clean. Just setting her position up. Strong push press.
Yeah. She's
Very
got more
good.
in the tank. So she just did a push jerk then. She just did a push jerk on that one.
Yeah, so there's, I think, 4 ways that you can move that log overhead.
Well, if you're real good, you can strict press it.
Yeah, or if you're just not very technically proficient. So the strict press is no leg drive, so you can't jump that log off your shoulders. You're just pressing it with pure shoulder strength.
Yeah, then you got your push press.
So similar, but you're allowed to sort of just jump it up a little bit and then press it out.
Yeah.
And then the more technical ollie lifts.
Your push jerk.
Yep, so that's push it up and then jump underneath.
Yep, catch it and then stand up. And then the last one's a split jerk,
which is similar.
It's creeping in. I'm seeing more and more athletes do split jerk.
Yeah, I'm all about it.
Yeah.
Don't worry. There's a reason why ollie lifters use split jerk. It's the most efficient way to move weight overhead. It hasn't traditionally been used in strongman and strongwoman because the log is so much more unstable than a barbell. It's tricky to do a huge, deep split jerk under it and then stabilise the log.
Yeah, exactly.
Like G said, it's starting to creep in a bit more now. So I think we'll see some big splits.
Well, we've got, what have we got, 67.5 on the bar now.
So Louise Story from South Australia approaches the log.
She's looking comfortable.
That's a very comfortable clean. Oh,
easy.
Nice little dip under there. Successful lift overhead at 67.5.
Oof, now we're moving up some weight. 70 kilos is being loaded onto the log now.
So our final 3 lifters in the women's is Heidi Humar with 70, and then Ray Vogler will take 75, and Camilla will take 85 to open the competition.
That's a pretty massive number to open on 85. What do you think her third will be? If she has 2 good first and seconds.
I'm not a betting man to begin with. I want to see what her first one looks like. But for now, we've got Heidi with 70 kilos on the log. There's the clean. Fast clean.
Easy.
We'll just stabilising that log. There it is.
Some people might be thinking that, it was a bit unstable then, but if the log's too light and you're using the same explosive power and the same effort that you're going to put into a max, you can unbalance it.
Yeah, absolutely.
By accident, not because it's too hard.
Like she's moving quickly underneath it, and then if that sort of doesn't resist like a heavier log would, you can sort of get shifted around. She's already over her own body weight overhead.
Yeah.
So there's 6 more kilos over her head than what she weighs. So it's going to sort of shunt you around a little bit.
Yeah.
But she did stabilise it. We've got Tiff Carroll as the head ref. She gives no free reps away.
No.
No easy ones.
No soft lockouts here.
No. All right, the platform is ready. We have Ray Vogler with 75 kilos.
Oh,
Very fast,
beautiful
clean. Strong push press. Yeah,
very nice
really
push
good,
press from Ray.
Really good opener there. So
Ray recently just posted a progressive snapshot of what her logs looked like since she started Strongman, and her post was starting like 45 kilos back in 2018. And I know she hit a 90 kilo PB in training, so
double.
Yeah, double
Yeah,
in, what's that, 7 years or something off the top of my head. So
And like that might seem like a long time, but like strength takes a long time to build, and to be doubling your overhead press, like that's a huge achievement. So if you're watching along, you've probably noticed that the loaders have just shifted to the larger log. So we've used the smaller log up to the 80 kilo mark, but because this is a title show, this is the big league, any attempts that are over 80 kilos will be done on what we call the Pro Women's 10-inch COVID log. Now, there's a story behind that. We'll talk about it later.
it's a beautiful log.
But for now, we'll just see if Camilla is successful at 85 kilos.
Beautiful.
Yeah, very
Beautiful
technical clean.
Oh,
And there's the split jerk.
So snappy.
Absolutely textbook log lift there.
For sure. And for those that don't know, Camilla's just come back from overseas from doing 2 back-to-back competitions,
Yeah.
heavy competitions.
This is she's on an absolute odyssey. At
Oh,
the
yeah.
moment.
Oh, yeah. And she's got a weight cut for every single comp that she does.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah,
So she,
almost, except for the next one.
Yeah. So last Saturday, she was in Scotland.
Yep.
She cut to 64.
Yep.
She competed and won.
Yep.
Then the next day, she competed as a 73, so she didn't need to cut for that because she was under that.
Yep.
Came second, I believe, runner-up.
Yep.
Still, no mean feat.
No way,
International
like, incredible.
competition.
Yeah.
She's flown back to Australia, and now she's competing on a Friday
Yep.
in Toowoomba, and then she will actually be competing again, pending injury.
In Bendigo.
In Bendigo at
Yeah.
our middleweight competition.
Yep.
So
The under
same thing,
73s.
but in the next weight class. So.
Yep.
Let's have a quick look at all the first attempts. We're shuffling back to the second attempts now. So Tamika and Maddie unsuccessful at 60. So I believe they will take those numbers again. We're just having a look at our data now, and probably not going to take 80.
Well, Tamika's going to obviously try the 60 again.
I would imagine so.
And who was our other one? Maddie.
So yeah, to be honest, like that, generally if you miss an attempt,
You're not going to go heavier. You're going to want
unless
to...
you've made a mistake. So
Yeah.
unless you know you've got it and you've made a mistake,
Yeah.
you're going to take that attempt again.
Yeah.
So I would imagine they're going to do that. Taylor looks like she's going to do the next smallest increment, which is 62.5. That's fine. Waiting on some data for Josie. Tanita's going to take... No.
62 and a half?
No, so
No, I think that's a typo.
we're just going to wait for
Yeah.
some updates on the data input. All right, so just while they are getting the second attempts sorted out from a administrative point of view, I want to take a moment to look at how a strongman event is scored. So we've got a lot of people in the crowd, and hopefully we've got lots of people tuning in at home. And if this is your first time watching a strongman competition, you're probably looking at it and going, man, that is crazy. Like, they're doing all this stuff, they're moving heavyweight, but how are they actually going to work out who is the strongest? So to do that, we have a point system. If there are 9 people in a category, which there is today, the maximum amount of points that you can score is 9. So in this first event, if you press the heaviest log, you'll get 9 points, and then the next heaviest, 8 points, all the way down to 1 point. If you don't put up a successful lift, you'll actually get a 0, which can mess with your score a bit. Everybody wants to avoid getting the zeros. And then at the end of 8 events, whoever has the most points wins.
Exactly.
It's as simple as that.
You might think, oh, there would be a decent point split when it comes to those final results, but I've seen competitions where half a point separates first, second, third.
Yeah, and there's some significant strategy that goes into this point system as well. In addition to that is the winner of... All right, it looks like we're back on again now. So... Right, so we have Maddie on the platform. She is retaking 60 kilos. There's the clean. Oh, she's committed to that split, but just not quite
She
there.
does a really nice clean. So
Yeah, it looked good.
Yeah.
It looked fast. But the thing with log, clean, and press is you need a good clean to get a good press. But there's no points for getting a good clean.
No, exactly.
It's only that press out that gets you that good lift. So
might be a personal PB for the athlete if they've never cleaned it before, but unfortunately, no points there.
No points there.
Yeah.
So she's still got a third attempt. She can come out again. It looks like Taylor Bartz will take 62.5. So she's taken the 2.5 kilo increment on her successful 60 kilo lift. All the kilos matter in overhead. It's not like a deadlift or a yoke where you can just slap on another 25 kilos. The small jumps really make a big difference.
Nice. Oh.
Successful lift there.
Good down call there from our head ref. And overheads is one of those things that doesn't happen overnight or after one 12-week block. When you're a lightweight competitor, it takes years to build up that muscle.
And the technique as well. Like it's such a technical lift to get that log overhead, balanced, and strength.
Yeah.
So Josie on the platform, she is taking 62.5. There's a good clean. Oh, strong push press.
Yeah, no troubles there at all.
Very good lift.
All right, our next weight, they're loading up 70 kilos now.
So Tanita, she's chalked up. She's just got her smelling salts there, just making sure she's not dozing off at this late hour of the afternoon.
No.
I don't think there's a lot of dozing going on.
If anything's going to wake you up, it's some ammonia.
Oh, boy. So she's got a bit of chalk on her hands to make sure.
I'm partial to some salts. I love some good salts.
I don't know. I've come around to them in the last few years. I was went nowhere near them for a while, but then they help.
They do help.
So Tanita with 70 kilos.
Good.
Great
Very
lift.
good. Yep.
Fantastic lift. I reckon that might be a PB for her. Certainly
by the looks of it, she looks super happy. So
I'm so excited for Tanita. So I actually I coached her in a seminar probably, I want to say 7 years ago.
Oh,
something
wow.
like that.
Yep.
And she was at the gym and she'd done a little bit of bodybuilding, but she was much smaller than she is now.
Yeah.
And she was really nervous about picking up a 30 kilo stone. She didn't want to do it. She's just pressed the 70 kilo log. And I know for a fact she's doing 110 kilo stones now.
Wow.
So again, what a difference 5 or 6 years can make.
It's incredible.
All right, 72.5 kilos on the log for Louise Story. From South Australia. Oh, snapping.
Too
Very
easy.
good lift. Just that nice little dip under the log. Helps you not have to press it out at the top.
Yep.
Little bit of stability there.
Well, I think her coach is Camilla, so
there's
no surprises there why she's got a good press. Next up, we got Heidi. She's going out for 72.5 as well.
72.5 kilos. We're just going to double check that is what she's aiming to take. All right, we have 72.5 kilos.
She looks fired up. She's ready.
Yeah, Heidi's a really strong presser. Again, she's got that bodybuilding background, which, people say, oh, they're not that strong bodybuilders, but in that strict static pressing power, it's there.
Oh, it
And
sure is.
We can see that.
She just showed it right there.
72.5 kilos. I asked her this morning how she thought she was going to go on log. She wouldn't give me a straight answer.
Yeah, well, I had the same chat with her, and I know she's looking forward to the deadlifts, so...
Yeah, loves a deadlift.
Yeah.
So, Ray Vogler with 80 kilos. She moves up to the pig log.
All right, Ray's no stranger to this platform, so let's see what she's got. Big log.
Easy clean. That log absolutely dwarfs Ray underneath.
She's got it. She's got it.
Huge pressing power has locked it out.
She's happy with that. She's
80
over the
kilos,
moon.
just like that. So, Camilla is our last lifter in the second flight. She's got 90 kilos. Now, Camilla's got history with this log. She was in the Pro Women's show that G was in as well, back in January of 23.
Oh, the Australia's Strongest International. Yep.
Second event was max log.
Yep.
On this same log.
Yep.
At 90 kilos. That was the minimum weight.
And she was having passing out issues.
She
That's right.
She couldn't put it up. She was having trouble positioning up on her chest.
Yeah.
And sort of blacking out underneath it. So same weight, same log.
Yeah.
Let's see what a year of work can do.
Textbook clean, easy.
Oh, not quite.
No.
That's very close.
She gets another go.
So she's moved underneath it, but she just couldn't quite lock it out. So she has 60
I know
seconds.
she's done more in training.
Yeah,
92 and a half or 95.
This is a big log. I think that the rotating mass of the log
makes a big difference.
Can make a big difference just on that position up in the rack. Up in the rack.
Yeah.
The clean. There's no trouble with the clean.
No. Oh, she's got it. Yes.
There it is.
Oh, she's going to be so happy.
90
Look at her.
kilograms.
Look at her. She's over
she's
the
got
moon.
redemption on that log.
Yeah. She is happy.
And that's on her second lift. We've still got one more lift.
I know.
If they choose to take it. So that's interesting. So we've got Camilla leading with 90, Ray with 80, Heidi with 72.5, and Louise Story with 72.5, Tanita with 70, then 62.5 and 62.5 for Taylor and Josie. So we move back to the third attempts. This will be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if Ray, who we know has pressed 90 kilos in training, makes a 10 kilo jump on the 80 that she already has locked in the bag to try and chase down Camilla's 90.
This is massive.
Or whether she'll sort of opt for that 85.
Well, it's a strategic move. I don't think any of the other girls are going to do 80. Well, we can't say
we
that
can't
yet.
rule that out. So,
but this is a strategic move for Ray because if Camilla doesn't hit her next one, they tie if she gets the 90.
Yeah, so if Ray successfully lifts 90 and Camilla misses, they tie.
Yeah.
Ray doesn't have a lot of reason to go for 85, except that if Heidi or Louise can nudge up past 80.
Yep.
Maddie with her third attempt at 60 kilos. There's the clean. That's the best clean she's had yet. Just not quite there. Not quite. She's got the rest of that time. Just a little bit more drive from the legs, I think. Could just move that log up a bit higher before she jumps underneath it.
Just not quite there, but it's not far off.
That's not far away.
A couple more months and she'll be doing that for a couple of reps, I reckon.
Yep, I reckon. And I guess the thing, I don't want to sound sexist, but purely genetically, it's tougher for women to press overhead. Guys genetically have bigger shoulders. They can usually press a bit more than women. So it's a slightly longer road, but it's a road still worth walking. Right? You're still going to get there. It just takes that little bit longer.
That's it. It's a slow and steady race.
So we're just taking that 10-inch log up to 65 kilos for Taylor Bartz. Loaders doing all the work out there. They've got their work cut out for them this weekend.
Oh, they sure do.
All right. Taylor approaches the platform. There
Nice.
we go.
She looks very, very happy with that.
3 successful lifts
Yep.
from 3 with a 65-kilo log to round out her event 1. Now, can Josie match it? Her last one looked really neat. Strong push press. Let's see what 65 looks like. Fast clean. Ooh.
Look, she basically strict pressed that, let's
Another
be
really
real.
strong press. Just got a little wobbly at the lockout,
Yeah.
but she just worked through it. You can see her body just like shifting around, trying to balance the log
Yep.
while she pressed it out.
Yep.
That's a really good push press technique.
Yep.
I guess that's the thing with the push press versus the split jerk. So the split jerk, you've really only got one shot at it.
That's
You've
it.
got to get it up and
Yep.
lock it out,
Yep.
or it's coming down. Whereas the push press, you can grind.
That's
and
it.
grind a little bit more.
Yep.
And
Until you pass out.
just like
Hopefully not.
not.
We have seen it happen, so.
So, Tanita, 72.5 kilograms.
Okay,
Ooh,
all right.
That clean is getting heavy. So far, all the ladies' cleans have looked really fast, but on these
Yep.
third attempts, they are going to be pushing themselves, and it looks like that clean is pretty... Oh, no,
that's
there we
better.
go. Maybe she just mispositioned. Yep, so she's had her 2 attempts
Well, and
there.
that's another thing. It's like you could go from 65 kilos to 67.5, and it might sound silly, but 2.5 kilos can stop you.
Oh, mate, 1 kilo on,
Yeah.
on a strict press.
Will just stop
can
you.
slow you down. It's very fickle, so... Right, so it looks like she's going to take a second attempt. It looked like that first one, even though the clean was slow, I think she just messed it up on her belt. So
Yeah.
she's got some time in that 60 seconds. She's going to have to move quick. There's the clean.
That
Not
was
quite. So a really good
I
attempt
think,
there.
Yeah, I think she just misgrooved that. The log kind of moved a bit in front of her as she was pressing it. It just came down. It's got to go straight above your head.
It's one of those things that you know
You
when
can't
you
misgroove it.
yeah, if you push it out in front, like I mean,
a lot of work.
People want to try and turn it into a bench press, but unless you've got a really bendy back, it's got
it's
to be
hard to
over the
save.
top of your head
Yeah.
to be able to sort of press it out. So she
Yeah.
was a little far out in front, but
Yep.
not far away. 70 was great, just not quite successful at 72
Yep.
and a half. So we are jumping up to 75 kilos for both Louise and Heidi. They are neck and neck. They've both hit 72 and a half. They're both going to attempt 75.
Can they? So once Louise goes, can Heidi bump her another 2.5, or these
No.
third attempts set?
Yeah, so the way we run these attempt selections is they've got to submit them a minute after they've had their attempt.
Yep.
It's it's a little bit less dramatic from a gaming point of view, but it's
Yep.
it's fair. Like
Yep.
it's fairer that you can't just sort of see what they do and then make a little jump.
Yeah, well, in powerlifting, you can be sneaky like that, can't you?
You can, and I mean, you heard it here first at Log Deadlift and Stone, which is coming up in May, which is similar to powerlifting, but strongman. It's only 3 lifts; they're all static. We will actually be shifting that that weight selection to be a little bit more dramatic.
Ooh,
So
I'm excited.
we'll talk more about that. So,
All right,
not
so
quite there
not quite
for
there for
Louise
Louise.
at 75.
Yeah.
I reckon she was really happy with that 72 and a half. She's come out and had a go at 75, but not quite. Same weight for Heidi. Her last rep looked really easy. So
It did.
I reckon there's a pretty good chance this will go up. So the stopwatch is running, but she's taking her time. She's got a belt on, got a chalk on. Well, let's see if she can go 3 from 3.
Oh, fast.
Oh, fast,
Yep.
clean.
Good start. Oh, she got it.
Strong press.
Oh,
Yeah,
she's
so
happy with that.
She's
Look
really
at that
happy
smile.
with that. But to be perfectly honest, I reckon she actually shortchanged herself a bit there. I reckon
Yeah.
there was a few more kilos.
Couple more kilos, yep.
But, you know, it's probably better to be conservative and make
Yep.
sure you get those numbers on the board.
Well, really, she doesn't need to do much more because she's not going to catch Ray.
That's true.
And then that's just wasted energy,
you
then,
know,
isn't it? But I mean,
glory.
glory.
No, she made the right move. So
Yeah.
unless she was going to try and jump to
Second
either
place,
80
yeah.
or 85, that was the right move. She's
Yeah.
moved into a minimum of third clear with that lift. So
Yeah.
good move from Heidi there. Now, Ray Vogler, 85 kilos on the giant COVID log.
So this will be a comp PB for Ray, I'm
Oh,
fairly
100%.
certain.
It was
Yeah.
only a gym PB a couple of weeks ago.
Oh,
so
yeah.
The local Queensland crowd getting around the Queenslander.
Oh, good clean. Come on.
Fast, clean there. Just trying to stabilise that log.
Okay.
Ooh, that
like
looked
we said,
heavy off
this
the
log
shoulders.
is a different beast altogether than your standard 10-inch logs that are in the gym.
Yeah, just the extra rotating mass can make it actually, like the clean will be fast. It's sometimes almost too fast if you're not ready for it
Yep,
and can sort
yep.
of bulldoze you a little bit.
Yep.
But I think this is just a matter of 85 is just a bit too much to get off the shoulders. But she's
Yeah,
really
and
happy with 80.
Like
Textbook lift.
And I know Ray's got to cut down as well to get into this division. So, I mean, cutting to any weight class is a big ask of the body to then go max out.
Yeah.
So
for those,
training PBs don't always make it onto the comp floor.
So for those at home that are wondering what we're talking about with weight cutting, because this is a weight class, all the athletes have to be under 64 kilos in this class 24 hours out from competition.
Yep.
So I know for a fact that Ray doesn't walk around at 64 kilos.
No.
So she cuts a bit of weight, she
Yep.
weighs in, and then she hopefully rehydrates.
Yep.
So does Camilla. She cuts a lot of weight. Let's see what
Right.
92.5 kilos looks like. Oh, fast split there. So
I think it's there. Like
That's
it's close.
super close.
Yeah.
So really decorated Olympic lifter. Before she found strongman, she represented Australia in Olympic weightlifting.
Yep.
And you can see that with that split jerk technique.
Yep.
I know her clean and jerk is significantly heavier, but
Yes.
that's a barbell. That's
Yep.
not the giant log. So,
Oh, that was so nearly
close
there.
to controlling
Holy
that, but
cow.
unsuccessful at 92.5, but has locked in 90 kilos to take
Look,
the event win.
I think she'll be really happy with how close that lockout was.
Oh, that was terrific. Yeah, looked like a little bit of a hard time in the 90, then you came through and attempted 92.5.
Yes, correct.
So you're obviously known for a great overhead press. So you've got a background, you've got a big overhead press. Tell us about how hard it's been travelling from Europe to compete here after a week on a plane.
I've actually pulled up better than I expected. No idea how my body was going to react to it. I'm not known for a great log. I don't love it. But yeah, today went really well.
All right, that's terrific. Well, we'll see you back out here in a couple of minutes with the second event. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of the first event, Camilla Fognolo. And we'll have the men out in just a minute, the lightweight men.
All right, so Camilla takes event one win with a 90 kilo log. Monstrous.
Yeah, what was that? 10 kilos above?
Yeah, so second place, Ray with 80.
Yeah.
Still a huge lift.
Yep.
Third place, Heidi. Followed by Louise Story with 72.5. Tanita with 70. And then Josie and Taylor both with 65. And Maddie and Tamika, unfortunately not able to put up that 60 kilo weight today, but can't imagine it's too far away.
No, not far away. Big ask for her. She's very new into this sport, less than 12 months in the sport, and made it to her title show. So
Yeah, that's incredible on its own, and
Yep.
tough gig to walk out to max log as well. So I had a chat with her yesterday. She's pretty confident with the yoke.
she's very, very
So
excited for the yoke.
That'll
Yep.
be really good for her to jump back on the board there. So
Yep.
the gentlemen are taking the field. We have 7 under 80 competitors. Their log is a 75 kilo log to begin with, but they are opening at a minimum of 90 kilos. So 10 kilos above their body weight as their minimum lift. Anything less than that, don't even show up.
That's pretty crazy when you think about, say, for an open heavyweight, you don't often see them opening 10 kilos above their body weight.
You're right.
If for the men, they're usually sitting around 150, 160 plus body weight.
You're right. There is I don't know the anatomical term for it, but there's like a physiological roll-off of you can get bigger, but you don't necessarily get
stronger.
Yep. Comparatively. So a lot of the lightweight guys will put up numbers that are bigger than their body weight percentage.
Yeah.
But you can't necessarily compare that to the heavyweight guys. 150 kilo log is massive,
it's
even
huge.
though they weigh 150.
Yeah.
So we have Jack on the platform. He has cleaned 90.
Oh, strict press, is it?
Strong press there.
Just opens
like
with
that.
strict press.
Just like that. So, one lift for Jack at 90.
Well, that makes it exciting. Imagine what he's going to do when he starts using his legs.
If he starts using his legs.
If he starts, yeah.
But hopefully, yeah. So that's good conservative opener there. We've got Ben Kleinberg also coming out at 90. Now, I've known Ben for a few years. He's not a lover of log.
No.
Or overhead events. He's a really fast mover and he's got a really good stone, but 90 kilos will be challenging for him, but I think he's good for it.
Okay. All right, so he's called it on that one. Yep.
He's waved it off. So Sam Rice travelling all the way up from Bendigo. One of the local lads for me anyway.
Yep.
Coming from almost Bendigo.
There's a lot of new faces.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a really good scene happening down there in Bendigo. They've got competitors in most categories. So Sam has racked that 90 kilo log.
It looks shaky. Oh, no.
Yeah, just not. He's got 60 seconds though. He can compose himself.
And the other thing to note too, like this log is 12-inch log too, so it's a lot thicker than the women's log.
Bigger diameter.
Yep. So it sits further off the body, especially when they're under 80 kilos.
Yep.
So they really have to offset that with the rack position.
I know this is a really heavy number for Sam. I competed with him twice actually in the under 80s last year.
Oh, okay.
Once at log deadlift and stone,
Yep.
and once over at the qualifier in Adelaide.
Oh, okay.
And I know that 90 got the better of him at log deadlift and stone,
Yep.
and I believe he put up just under 90. So that I'm pretty sure that would have been a new PB for him. So Alec Wallace, also from South Australia, stepping out with 92.5. Also competed with Alec over in South Australia. Also beat me. Let's see if he can keep this one on the platform.
Gets it.
That's much more control.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
over in Adelaide,
Not salty there, Mason?
No. In Adelaide, he took a bit of a wander with the walk out into the crowd with the log, and then managed to bring it back onto the platform
So
and
you
put
should
it
get
down.
extra points for that.
Oh, I don't know. Everyone was a little bit concerned, but much more control there. So it's amazing what sort of 6 months can do your log press.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Dan Bonney, all the way from WA. I reckon he's our furthest travelling competitor.
It's good to see. It's good to see them coming over from WA. I know.
WA may as well be another country.
We took a trip to WA for one of the qualifiers last year, and it was our first time in WA, and it's beautiful.
95 on the log.
Easy clean.
Strong
And gets it.
press.
Gets it down.
There we go. Just a
He
little bit
had
of leg
some
drive there.
really good patience on his press.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Now, big jump here. So Michael Berry from Victoria has jumped up to 110 for his opening
Oh,
lift.
wow.
So at 105, the gents jump up to the 12-inch COVID log, which is 105 empty, and then
nice.
they've added another 5 kilos to that.
Nice.
So the story behind these logs, they're called the COVID logs because they were both made during, well, the first one was made during a COVID lockdown,
Okay, yep.
and then the second one was made by me while I had COVID.
Oh, no.
So I made it and pressed it. That was the ladies' one.
So there's a little part of your soul in these logs.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. So they got the biohazard symbols on the outside. They're the COVID logs.
Yeah. Well,
Bigger, uglier, harder to press.
Yep.
Oh, very easy clean there.
Easy.
Oh, look at that.
Like nothing.
Very conservative opener there, 110.
All right, Carl's up next with opening on 120.
So our last male lifter in the first attempts at 120 kilograms.
Super
Opening
experienced
lift.
athlete.
We were speaking with him just before competition started, and I was sort of trying to get an idea of what he was going to attempt. And Carl's a very strong overhead presser, and he said, he's comfortably pressed over 125 with a strict press of all things. So, but he's carrying a bit of I think he's got a calf injury.
Yeah, I think he's got it taped up, which you can't see under his gear.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he really pushes the envelope or whether he sort of does enough to get those maximum points.
He's not one to not give it 100%.
No, that is true.
Oh, okay.
Not quite there. Opting for that push press.
And gives it more juice for that one.
There it is.
I just don't think he put enough into that first attempt.
Yeah, maybe the size of the log
the,
just sort of moved him around a little bit. But
you can see him favouring the right side, though.
Yep.
So, especially with that second attempt, he did shift his weight to his right side. So, I think it might be giving him some grief.
Yep.
But
I mean, he's moved to 120, so he's got a 10-kilo advantage over Michael Berry in the first round. Looking at our attempts now, though, we've got Michael taking 120 in the second round.
Yeah.
So if Carl wants to absolutely lock in maximum points, he's going to have to better his 120.
Yeah, and that could have been like a strategic thing for Carl. Like, he knows his pressing ability might not be where it's at, so he's taken possibly a second attempt first.
True.
True. So he might not need to do his third attempt, but we'll find out.
So looking down the list here, we've got Jack coming back out with 95, so he's successful at 90 kilos. Big strict press. Let's see if he throws a little bit of leg drive in there this time, G. So a little bit slow on the clean there.
Yep.
Weight is now 15 kilos over his body weight.
He's gonna,
strong presser.
It's close.
So he's got lots of his 60 seconds to just catch his breath, maybe get the stars to disappear a little bit.
Yeah, I think he may have had a couple of stars then. He used more legs though, so
he did.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
all right, he's going to call it
there.
for that attempt. He might give that another go.
Yeah, he's got his third attempt. I mean, he can't go back down to 92.5 because he's opted for 95. But the second one, he did dip drive, so he didn't streak press, but it just looked like there just wasn't quite that control at the bottom of the dip drive.
Yeah, it didn't really flow through to his arms. He kind of did the leg drives,
he's
pause,
dipped, and then I think that log has moved forward on him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 15 kilos more than he weighs, so
yeah,
probably going to happen.
Yeah.
All right, so Ben and Sam have opted to not take their second and third attempts, so we're jumping straight to Alec Wallace with 97.5 kilos.
He cleans it no trouble.
Easy clean there.
Oh.
He's chosen to re-rack the log on his shoulders, which he can do.
Oh, come on.
He's having a massive
Is he going
fight
to get
here.
it? Yes.
Oh, it's not quite there. He just didn't quite lock out that right arm.
I couldn't quite see the down call. Did he get it then?
Didn't get it.
Okay.
So he got really close, but he was just waiting. Tiff was waiting for that right elbow to lock out.
He had the log press, bench press position.
He did, and he held it for a long time.
Yeah, he did.
So he's opted out of that, but he does have a third to reattempt it. That was really close. That was as close as it gets, but close enough.
His knees weren't locked out. You could see there was still a significant bend in his body, so, it wasn't quite there.
A successful rep on the log, for those following along at home, the log needs to be overhead. It can't be out over your chest.
No.
Your elbows have to be locked out, and your knees and hips have to be locked out as well. So you've got to be standing straight up and down underneath the log. And you've got to show control of the log. You can't be walking around with it.
Yep.
It's got to be stationary overhead.
Yep.
So just not quite there for Alec. Dan Bonney with 100 kilos on the log.
Gets it.
That's a strong press. Very good.
See, that was one that looked like it wasn't going to go, and then he got past his sticking point,
Yeah.
which is very obvious where it is, and then he locks it out.
Yes. So, yeah, no lockout problems at the top. Just that sticking
that
point.
middle
which,
part.
Bit more time on his accessories.
More triceps.
More triceps.
Can always do more triceps.
So our next competitor who doesn't need any more triceps.
he's got lots of triceps.
He's got lots of everything. Now, I heard his weight cut was pretty grim. He was up.
How much did he have to cut?
He was over 90.
Oh.
So he's gone from over 90 to under 80.
That's over a 10% cut?
Yeah, well over.
Quick math. I'm no good at quick math, but I did all right then.
Yeah, it was pretty good. So I know my Berry is relatively lean at the best of times, which makes a cut pretty challenging. So if you're already up at 90 kilos and you're fairly lean,
it's grim.
There's not a lot of places that weight can come from. So it doesn't seem to be knocking around yet. He's going for 120 on his second attempt.
All right, solid
clean.
clean.
Very fast. Sitting up on those massive delts.
Oh, he's got it. And he gets it.
Strong press out. Very good.
It's good to see the camaraderie between the athletes too, like a nice little fist pump there from Carl as well. Like that's really nice to see.
Yeah, pretty standard in strongman.
Yeah.
So they're 1 and 2. They're probably going to be going head to head all weekend.
Yeah. Well, and it's because we know how hard it is.
Yeah.
Like we appreciate the wins. Yeah, because we know how hard this sport is.
All right, so Carl, he's an absolute veteran in the sport. He's been doing this as long as I've been involved, which is at least 10 years.
Yeah.
And longer in Carl's case.
Yeah.
He's technically a master, but he doesn't want to acknowledge it.
He's not ready to give up.
The young guys.
I don't blame him though. He
came top 10 in the world.
Exactly.
At OSG last year, official strongman games, which this competition is a qualifier for.
Yep.
I mean, Carl doesn't have to because he went top 10.
Yeah.
He's all automatically qualified. So
which is actually a huge pressure taken off you for your next 12 months of competing.
That's true.
Yeah.
He's just here for the glory.
Oh, he's ready.
He just wants the title. So 125 kilos.
Good clean.
Yeah, good clean.
Oh, yes, he's got it. He's got it. And he gets
very
it.
nice. So that looked a fair bit more decisive than the first one, I reckon. Even his successful one.
I mean, he's shaking his head, but that was a good lift. But any great athlete is never completely satisfied, are we?
Look, I know because he told me. He's frustrated because he knows he's capable of probably up around that 140 mark.
Yeah.
With no injury, but he'll be just out here to get the maximum amount of points that he can.
Yep.
Still put on a show, and he's doing that. He's put up 125 kilos, which is 1.5 times his body weight. There's some quick math for you.
Yep.
I can confirm that Carl is also back over 90 kilos now. So
he had a really good refeed.
He had a big refeed, but regardless, they weighed in his 80s, so that's what they are.
Yep.
We are going back to attempt 3s now, so they've moved back to the standard 12-inch log. We've got Jack attempting 97.5. That's interesting. So
yeah, he's gone up 2.5 kilos from his failed second attempt. So.
Yep, no, can confirm. I was looking at the log. He has made that jump. So he failed the second attempt, but has opted for a couple more kilos.
Yeah. I mean, why not? Because if he gets it, he'll... Well, yeah, that's actually a good strategic move because if you look at Alec, he got a successful 92.5. He missed his 97.5. So if he misses his 100 and Jack gets his 97, well, he's made some really good points there.
Oh, it's looking pretty sluggish off the shoulders.
Oh... Well, is he going to take another attempt?
No. Not today.
Well, I mean, I'll give him credit for that strategic move. Like, that would have panned out really well for him if it was successful.
Interesting. So,
yeah.
Ben and Sam have opted out. So, I guess the other thing that's playing in here is we're effectively down to a field of 5. That's not a lot of rest.
No.
So, max attempts.
Well, that was his third, so he's done now. But for the other guys,
he's done. But, like, we're back around to Ali.
Yeah.
He probably only lifted 6 minutes ago.
Well, 6 minutes, yeah.
So, if you've got a field of 15...
Well, that's it. Our spotters and loaders aren't mucking around. They're changing those weights. Quick smart.
All over it. I think they've heard that there's barbecue outside, so they're like, let's wrap this up. But Ali Wallace, an even 100 kilos on the log. He's a bit unlucky on the last one.
Oh,
much more decisive.
Wow.
Very good. He's played that game really well.
Good
man.
on him. That was an awesome lift.
That's really good to see.
And it was a really good technical lift. You could see him lean right back, get those arms locked out, and then bring his head through. Like, that was smart.
The difference was like, even though it was a grind,
Yeah.
there was just constant smooth movement through. He didn't find a sticking point where he had to stop the log coming down
No.
and then repress
It was just smooth grind.
Yeah, I reckon that was the difference. So
Yeah.
he's secured himself a minimum of 4.
Yeah, which is great.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Dan Bonnie has also done 100, but has opted for 105.
Yeah.
So if he's successful, he can jump out in front of Alec for third.
Yep. I think it's a hard one to call because that last lift of Dan's, he only just got past that sticking point. So we've added another 5 kilos. His lockout was great.
He's going to have to find some more legs and some more press.
Oh, I don't want to say I don't want to jinx it, but yeah,
not quite.
not quite.
So he's got the minute. He's got 2 attempts.
Yep.
Gets to this point though, so like he's already sort of onto his
he's fired
6th
up.
lift.
He wants it. Good clean.
Yeah, fast clean there.
Oh,
Not quite.
I think he's all right. I think that was an intentional dismount there. He looked like he threw that log forward on purpose. So
He fully committed.
Yeah.
Which is good. Like you have to, but
Yeah.
like that's why we have the safety pads.
yeah,
They can be lifesavers, not always, but they can be.
yes.
So Alec
they
and
share
Dan
points
tied
now.
on 100.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So they're tied in third. They'll
Yeah.
share those points or
Yeah.
average the 2 out.
Yep.
Then we have Michael Berry with 130. And then Carl has asked for 132 and a half.
So Carl's only just doing what he has to do by the looks of it.
He is. So Michael Berry, if he gets 130, he leaps into the lead. That then forces Carl to take 132 and a half to win. If Carl can't hit that, he'll take second.
Yep.
So really good attempt selections here for the guys.
It's interesting to see where the points are sitting just after the first event. Like, it's going to set the tone for the rest of the day.
I think it is. Yeah, like we're sort of seeing.
We know I think we know who it's going to be with.
At face value, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we have our favourites and there's experience, but there is 7 more events after this. And some of them, anything can happen.
Yes.
All right, Berry with the clean. Oh, he's moved quickly and just brought in a really... Nope, didn't
down
get that
call.
call.
Whoa. All right, that's a tough one. That's
So
a tough one. He's got to use all that time he can to rest.
He's got lots. He moved... that was the quickest log that he did.
I think that shook him, though. Like, he was looking a bit dazed.
Yeah, well, man, it's 130 kilos.
Yeah.
Like, that's... I'd be flat on the floor with that much weight over my head.
All right, another good clean. Oh, no.
Not quite there on the right. So it was the right elbow that lost him the rep in the first place.
Yeah.
Tip, she's hard. She's fair, but she's hard.
Yeah.
So,
and it's the same for everyone.
Absolutely.
Everyone
Yeah,
gets the same standards.
There's no guessing whether it was a good or not rep.
No.
I guess the thing is
well, Carl doesn't have to get this. I mean, if he does, fantastic, he'll be happy. But if he doesn't, he still takes the win for this event.
That's true. Like, he can step away from this, but Carl is always the showman.
Yes.
You can tell by the pants.
These are longer ones than we're used to seeing him in when he competes.
That is
Sometimes
true.
he wears those even shorter booty shorts.
Maybe it's his evening formal wear tights rather than his usual booty shorts. So,
all right, he's fired up. Oh,
132.5 kilos on the log.
Oh,
the clean's fast.
that was a
couple of
fast
step
clean.
backs there, but stabilised it.
Oh,
not quite there.
No.
Nah, not quite.
Just not today.
And he can walk away from that. He's got the event lead, so he's locked in the points. Not quite successful at 132.5. So.
But he can be happy with the 125 win.
There.
He did. He was, super strong. Pushed really hard. And, took a massive jump. Really unlucky not to get it. So, props to him. I'm below par, but I guess just enough today. So, happy with that. Thanks.
All right, nice work. 125. Got you over the line on this occasion, but you might need to bring that 132 next time you're taking on Michael, I reckon. He's got it next time. All good. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Carl Sherry. And we'll be back in a few minutes, ladies and gentlemen. The second event will be the Super Yoke. Of course, the production of traditional strong event.
All right. So that concludes event number 1 of 7, the max log. So we've got the team out on the floor. They're just going to shift some stuff around and get these yokes into position, ready for number 2.
Yep. So, as you know, we had Camilla take the win for the women.
Yep, and Carl for the gents. They are partners in life.
Yeah, so that actually makes it a bit sweeter, doesn't it?
Oh, it makes me crook. No, I'm kidding. No, that's really cool. So we're going to clear these logs off the floor. The next event is the yoke race. We're going to cut to a quick visual on what's involved in the yoke while we get the floor set up.
Yoke race. Athletes will feel like they have the weight of the world on their shoulders as they carry this enormous implement 20 metres as fast as possible. If they are unable to complete the distance within the 60-second time cap, they will be granted a distance score. Unlimited drops are allowed, but intentional sliding will incur a time or distance penalty. Yoke race. Athletes will feel like they have the weight of the world on their shoulders as they carry this enormous implement 20 metres as fast as possible. If they are unable to complete the distance within the 60-second time cap, they will be granted a distance score. Unlimited drops are allowed, but intentional sliding will incur a time or distance penalty.
All right, so event number 2, the yoke. Now, traditionally, we would open a competition with the yoke. It's the heaviest thing that you'll generally do in strongman, so we sort of try and get it done first, get it out of the way early.
Yeah, but it's nice if you've got a max log to put that first, I think.
Yeah, that's when we programmed it, we wanted to do that. We wanted to make sure athletes were as fresh as possible on the log to hit the biggest numbers that they could. I mean, log is still taxing, but it's not taxing like a squat or a deadlift on your legs. So they can now come into the yoke and they're warmed up.
Yeah, they'll be feeling still, I won't say completely fresh, but they won't be feeling as fatigued as if they would after a heavy deadlift.
Yep.
So, no, I think that's a good event choice to put the log first and then the yoke after.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the crew's just moving these giant tower yokes into position. They weigh 135 kilos empty before you've even put a plate on them. It's a 20-metre course, so often in strongman, the distances will change and the way the course is set up. So we're going to see all kinds of distances and courses, even just tonight. So the yoke is 20 metres in one direction. So theoretically, they only have to pick it up once and carry it, get across the line as quick as possible.
Yeah, but it's unlimited drops, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So if someone is struggling, we're not going to penalise them for putting it down once or twice or 3 times. Some competitions you will, but in this case we won't. We will penalise them if they slide the yoke. So we've got to
they will have to be careful on this floor because it's quite slippery.
It's a really nice polished concrete floor. It's not like in a car park on the asphalt where you drop the yoke and it just stops. There's a difference between sort of sliding unintentionally and actually trying to gain some metres and an advantage by pushing the yoke.
Oh yeah.
I think we will see in both categories quite a variation of speeds. There'll be some athletes that 20 metres will be a real grind. Like I'm not saying they're not going to make it, but you can tell the difference between that's the hardest 20 metres of their life. And then there'll be some other athletes that are really good at yoke that will just pick that up and they would hardly be able to run quicker without the yoke on their shoulders. So I think we'll see that.
What sort of equipment can the athletes wear? So I don't see any grip shirts out there.
Yeah, so they're all out in their competition shirts. We are just having a look at the results for the max log. We've got the points up there and the actual attempts that the ladies took. And then we'll head over to the gents ones. We're just waiting for them to come through from the desk. So overall placings there for the ladies. We've got Camilla out in front, followed by Ray Vogler, Heidi Humar in third, Louise Story, Tanita Northcote, Josie and Taylor tied, and then Maddie and Tamika with a 0 there, unable to lift the log. So those ladies are warming up for Yoke at the moment. We're just getting them set up. Do you like Yoke?
I love the Yoke. Yes, it's one of my favourite events.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yep. My Yoke is disproportionately good
Compared to everything
to almost everything else. So I don't know why, because I'm not a great squatter and I'm an average deadlifter.
Yeah,
but
well, that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it just shows though that like you don't have to have that huge squat. Like both of those movements help a yoke, and a big yoke can help those movements.
Yeah.
But because the pickup is not super low, you don't have to pick it up from a squat position or even a half squat position. Yeah. If you've got a good stable core and then can get it moving.
That's it. It's very, like, it may not look technical, but it is technical. You don't want to take too big a steps at the start, otherwise you're going to throw the balance off. You got to have a tight core for the whole distance. Like, you can't take massive breaths throughout the yoke. It's like short, shallow breathing because you want to keep that core tight.
Definitely.
So there's some people I know hold their breath for the whole yoke distance, and then there are others, like myself personally, I'm make me think, but I take small breaths.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the coaching cue that I've used for yoke for breathing is I call it top breathing. So you get all the air in that you need.
Yeah.
I'll hold my breath for the pickup and probably for the first 3 or 4 meters, and then once I'm moving, I'll sort of just short breath out and then refill my lungs. So like I'm keeping that tension in the midline.
You're kind of just taking from the top of your breath.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Top breathing.
Yeah, top breathing.
I don't know if someone's nicked that, but I'm going to roll with it. I have seen people that have tried to attempt a 20-metre course with holding their breath. I've seen people black out halfway down the 20-metre course because they were holding their breath.
Not ideal.
Not ideal.
Not ideal.
Look, you can probably get away with it over a 10-metre course.
Yeah.
Half the distance.
Yeah.
I guess the thing with
absolutely,
that is
10 metres, you can definitely get away with one breath.
You can,
if you're fast enough.
The thing with that is we would generally do a heavier yoke
if
over
it's 10
the 10
metres.
Yeah. So whether they balance out or not, I'm not sure. But all of these athletes, none of them are new to the yoke. They all have their techniques figured out. I guess this one is it's a bit different to like the frame that we're going to see tomorrow, and even the Zercher carry that we'll see later this evening.
The frame is a beast. It's huge.
It is huge.
Yeah,
but
the
thing
is so nice and balanced though. I remember using it back in 2020 at that or 2018,
2019 at Arnold's,
2019
and it actually made
Arnold's.
its debut in 2017.
Oh,
at
okay.
Arnold's. So it's been around the block.
Yeah,
it's been used for deadlift and for carry.
Yep.
But
I like it because the handle height's nice and high.
Yeah. I guess the thing with frame carry is we're not testing a deadlift.
No.
Like we're testing how much you can pick up and carry.
Yeah.
So, but that frame will be over a 30-metre course, which will be 15 down and 15 back.
And that's quite a distance. You might think 15 metres not that far, but when you're carrying something, try not to let it go.
Yeah.
It's a long way.
The thing with the yoke is it's 20 metres in a straight line, so there's no sort of technical gap where the athletes will have to stop, turn, re-pick it up and get back.
Yeah,
so they could be one and done for the yoke, whereas the frame and the Zercher carry, there will be a turn in that. So they'll do the course, stop, get underneath it, pick it back up, and go back to the other end.
Yeah.
And that can, like, even if it's light for someone, that can create problems, or like that could be spots that you can actually sort of trip up and lose a couple of seconds.
Yeah, okay.
Athletes are warming up out on the floor as we speak. We haven't started our competition runs yet. We might actually just cut to a short commercial break while these athletes are warming up. They'll be back very shortly with the yoke carry, event number 2. All right, so we are seeing our last warm-ups for the yoke at the moment. Confirmed that they will be getting started in 5 minutes' time, so 5:15 local time. I had to check.
Yep,
It's still on Victorian time.
Already an hour of competition down.
Yeah, just like that. So it's important that these athletes warm up
It is.
on the yoke. It's heavyweight, but they're getting pushed through fairly quickly, which is good because we all want to see the action. So athletes will run head to head. So we've got guys and girls warming up together at the moment, but we will go girl v girl and then guy v guy. It's a race then. That's more exciting to see head-to-head action. The girls will be carrying at 220 kilograms per yoke, and then the gents will be 320 kilos. So
that's a massive yoke, 220 kilos.
Yeah,
220 or 30? 220.
220.
Yeah,
For the
220.
under 64,
Yeah,
so
massive.
that's, from memory, 15 kilos heavier than the qualifying weight.
Yeah.
So touching on that, all of these athletes have qualified for this competition all around the country in a series of 7 state qualifiers.
Yep.
So basically you sign up to a state comp.
Yep.
It's already pretty heavy, but it's not quite as heavy as this comp.
No, yeah.
And the winner and second place from each of those comps in each category come through to the finals.
Yeah.
So we're seeing the best of the best from all of the states.
Yeah, we are.
She's pretty rowdy in here. We've got 140 kilo steel yokes with steel plates being dropped on concrete.
It's a beautiful sound, isn't it?
Oh, yep, if you say so. No, it is. When you hear it, you know weight's being lifted. And when you've spent enough time in a gym or at competitions, like you get used to that. You're like, yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
We know we're into it. When you've been at as many competitions as I have, it's... maybe less so. I've got to start bringing earplugs to these things. But
I kind of just zone out to it now. It becomes background noises, and then if there's a really big bang, I'm like, oh, okay, that gets me. That gets me.
Does the little fella jump?
No, because he's so used to it. So, I obviously, when I was pregnant, trained all the way through.
Yep. Always
banging noise, coached all the way through, so constantly changing weights, all that sort of stuff. I reckon he just was used to it from being in my belly.
Oh, in the womb, right.
Yeah, and then when he was born, we were in the gym 2 weeks later. So, he's just so used to it. He doesn't even flinch. Yeah.
Lucky him, I just flinched that. It's a special sort of ambience that we have in here.
Yeah.
There's a bit of echo going on. So we're a couple of minutes away from competition. 3 by my count, but we'll wait for the signal from the floor crew. We'll start with the ladies. So going to have a quick look over here at the running order.
And the important thing too when you're warming up, it's making sure you're warming up. It's hard. You've got all the athletes trying to warm up on one yoke at the same time. And you got to be quick. There's got to be fast changeovers because everyone's got different heights. Well, most people have different heights.
Yep.
You want to be making sure you're warming up on your height too, because if there's a few of them at one height and you're maybe a little bit taller, you don't want to be warming up on a shorter yoke because it's harder to pick.
Yeah, you're either picking it up too far, or you're not picking it up far enough and it's going to skip.
That's it.
Or if you're really short, you can't even pick it up at all. So.
Yeah. So it's important that, even in the warm-ups, that the athletes are fast, and it's hard too because you're in the zone and all you can really think about is yourself and the warm-ups you have to do, and it's just, I think, important to be considerate too of all the other athletes around. But
and it's a balancing act as well.
It is a balance.
So you want to warm up, but you don't want to do too much work. By the time you got to hit the floor,
you're buggered.
You've already cooked yourself. So
yeah,
definitely with yoke. When I would warm up for it, I'd take probably 50 kilo jumps. In warm-ups. Yeah. So empty yoke. And then
but a 50 kilo jump for these under 64s is too much, I think.
Probably.
For the start. Maybe the first 2 jumps. Yeah.
Sure. Yep. Yeah, I guess that's sort of my weight at under 8. So 50 jump would be...
Oh, sorry, I'm a heavyweight over here.
Yeah. Right. So 50s would be too big a jump, but they're still comparatively large jumps.
Yeah.
You don't want to do too many runs. You don't want to be incrementally creeping it up.
And like I've said to a couple of my clients in the past, if you're going out to hit a PB, or say the comp weight is a PB, you don't want to be wasting, if it's a rep event, say a monster dumbbell, and your PB's 40 and the open weight's 40 and it's for reps, don't want to be warming up anywhere near 40 out back and wasting any attempts out on the warm-up area.
I made that mistake in Adelaide.
Yeah.
So my last comp, I hit my opener on log in the warm-up area, and it felt really good.
Yeah.
But then I had like 45 minutes before my first
that's
attempt.
a
and I
huge
missed
break.
It. And I was
But
my bad.
But that's also a big gap too, 45 minutes from your last warm-up to your first comp.
It is, but probably shouldn't have been hitting comp weight out there, and they're not doing anything. So maybe lighter, a couple more warm-ups. You live and learn. That's part of the sport. So, Tim is back on the floor. We are going to run these yokes head-to-head. As far as I know, we've got odd numbers in the ladies, so we will see Tamika come out on her own to open the yoke, because we've got 9 athletes. We can't run head-to-head for all of that. And that will then be followed by Maddie and Taylor, and then Josie and Tanita head-to-head, Louise and Heidi, and then Ray versus Camilla to finish up.
I've just seen someone I know, and I'm trying to get their attention, but they can't see me. So we're not far off starting.
Just some final preparations on the yoke here, getting them set up for the girls.
I was told that yoke over there weighed 142 empty on the far side of the arena. So maybe, I mean, you made them.
Yeah, I know. It's surprising. I mean, weighing a yoke that big is challenging. We weigh it in the factory with a crane scale. So maybe there's just some conversation around that.
How to load it, what weights to use.
I think
to
it'll
get
be
it 220 exactly.
Incremental weights, So we'll just see where they're at with that.
Because that's important. Like, you can't be off. It makes a huge difference at these weight classes.
Just getting that second yoke set up now for the girls.
So, Mason, you love the yoke so much that you decided to make it an overhead event.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell us about that one.
Okay, so let's be fair. Like, it's not quite the same yoke as the one that we're looking at. So this one's a tower yoke. It's meant to look big and beefy. It's heavy to start with. It's designed for carrying. But a traditional strongman event, certainly one that I didn't invent, they call it a safe press. So they had a pair of safes, and then essentially they just had a yoke bar connecting them. They wouldn't have to clean the implement. They just have to lift it off the floor and then press it. So it's essentially a yoke.
Yeah.
We've made a variant of that. We called it the anchor yoke because it kind of looks like an anchor. And you'll see it tomorrow, event number 6, I believe. I should know. I programmed it. But the anchor yoke is different in that it's a bit lighter to start with. It's 60 kilos, so allows more people to get on the board. But it's actually got a curved base on it, which means that if you drop it out in front when you're trying to press it overhead, it won't come back and try and bash you in the teeth, which a normal yoke definitely tries to.
Yes, it would,
Flat base. So
so when it's in the lockout, it's not just an easy lockout either.
No, so it's swinging. Like it's a
Yeah.
giant pendulum. If you've got a very straight press overhead, you'll do well.
Yeah.
If you press out in front, it's a lot harder to try and bring back.
I've seen some pretty swifty-looking split jerks as well under the anchor yoke,
Yeah.
which I am not going to lie, super impressed.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Yeah.
I like seeing that. So the anchor yoke is part of a 3 overhead medley
Yep.
tomorrow. So it starts with the log again, which we've seen. So it's a quick rep on the log,
Yep.
and then a rep on the dumbbell, and then a rep on the anchor yoke as fast as possible. So you
Yep.
actually get a completion time for that overhead event rather than the heaviest weight possible.
Yep, yep.
So that's event number 6. So number 2 tomorrow.
All right, they're ready to go. They're all set up. Yokes have been lined up.
All right, these yokes look ready. So Tamika, she's out on her own, but she's all good.
She's ready. She's been looking forward to this one.
And back on deck now for the yoke. The lightweight women will be carrying 220 kilos. They've got a 20 metres. They've got to take the yoke. They can drop it a couple of times, but they've got as much time as they need. The first athlete on deck will be...
Of the way we set up these events, if there's an odd number of athletes, the person that came last in the previous event has to go on their own, but no issues for Tamika. So we wait for the timekeeper's call.
That's it.
All
Nice
right.
and steady.
So,
That's all she's got to do.
first
Nice and steady.
Cab off the rank. Yeah, she's... So that is a really challenging weight for Tamika. It's 220
This is
kilos.
a PB for her already.
So Coach G has confirmed this is the heaviest yoke
Yeah,
she's
this
done.
is the
Yeah.
heaviest yoke she's ever done. So
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, it's not appropriate for me to talk about other people's sizes, but it kind of is in the world. I mean,
Yeah.
Tamika doesn't look like someone that cuts a lot of weight down to 64. Is
No.
she under already?
she's under it. She has a really hard time actually putting weight on to
Yeah,
stay
right.
at the 64 kilos.
So she's going to call it there. They've got 60 seconds.
You know, she'll get a distance for this, won't she?
Yep. Absolutely.
So yeah, that was
Yeah,
a
so
big PB for Tamika, and a lot of athletes don't always have an easy time putting weight on or losing weight. And in Tamika's case, the struggle for her is actually to keep weight on. So to be in the under 64s isn't the challenge weight-wise. The challenge is actually beefing her up a bit so she's as competitive as she can be in the under 64s. So she'll sit comfortably without even trying under 60 kilos. So
Yeah, that's tough. When you've got
it is tough when you've got a
athletes that are coming
220
down to
kilo yoke
64, yeah,
to put on your back and walk with as well. So
We've taken a measurement there. So Tanita didn't finish the course, but she will be credited with a distance for
awesome.
her carry.
She'll be really happy with that.
Yeah, so 3.2 metres is the confirmed distance. So Maddie versus Taylor.
All right. See,
So
this is
Taylor
not.
is straight off the line.
Yeah.
These are heavy yokes for these two, but they're both moving well. Taylor's popped it down.
Maddie had a pretty slow start, but she seems to have picked up the pace quite well now.
Yeah, so Maddie looks like she's past the halfway mark. Taylor's making up some ground, though. This is good.
Yeah. Both dropping a couple of times, so this is no easy weight at all.
So each pick that they put it down, they've just got to recompose themselves and just find a bit more power to get it off the ground again.
Every single...
Maddie is really close to finishing now.
That's it.
Maddie's clear.
She done it. All right.
It's still got a couple seconds left. And that's time.
Good effort.
Yeah, great effort. Like it's 20 metres is a long way, and she looks like about 17 metres is my guess.
Yeah. And the thing is, every time you drop it and have to pick it up again, it is 10 times harder the first time.
It's horrible. You
Yeah.
swear it's 50 kilos every time you pick it up. So 49 seconds for Maddie. We're just waiting there for a distance score for Taylor. Huge effort. She's come straight off the log, and now she's got to carry that 220 kilo yoke. So 15.1 metres she's been credited for.
All right, you're pretty close. 2 metres off.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
All right. Cheeky return there from Fajit. Just keeping these yokes cycling over. All right, so our next heat is Josie versus Tanita. So we have Tanita on the side closest to me.
Yeah.
And Josie on the far side closest to the four-wheel drive. I've got a feeling these are going to be some fast times. So Tanita,
right,
great
Tanita,
control
yeah.
pickup.
Yep.
Oh, they're neck and neck at the moment.
This
is
close.
good.
Yeah.
So
There's not
Josie
much
is
between them.
just out in front, but he's so close. So there's the first drop. Tanita hasn't put it down yet. No drops for Tanita. This is a big effort. Finish time there for Tanita. Finish for Josie. Huge effort.
Monster effort from both of them. Won't be much time between them. "26 seconds. Nice work.
So 26.37 seconds for
Yep.
Tanita with no put downs, and 30.13 for Josie. So
4 seconds.
yeah, just right on 4 seconds
Yeah.
there. So Tanita is the leader so far, followed by Josie, and then Maddie Heath back there with 49 seconds. So our next heat in the under 64 women is Louise Story of South Australia versus Heidi Humar from Victoria.
Who's your pick out of these two?
Oh, I'm not a betting guy. I'm not sure where
I
Heidi
personally
is on the
haven't
yoke.
seen
so
either of these ladies do yoke before, so I'm excited to see what
I
they
think
can
it's
do.
going to be fast.
Oh,
There's
good
the
fast
start
pick
call.
from Heidi.
Fast out of the gate for Heidi, but steady and controlled for Louise.
Yeah, she's controlling
That's
that
still
momentum.
a fast run over in the far lane. Heidi has just clipped the floor.
One
There's
drop.
The put down. I think Heidi might have gone just a tiny bit low on her pick,
Yeah.
but she is finished and Louise is finished. They are some fast times.
Heidi smoked it.
So I feel like Heidi might just take the event
I think she might be in the lead with that run.
17.64 seconds. That is fast. Ooh, and 20.63 for Louise. So they have stitched up 1 and 2 so
Yep.
far with only 2 competitors left. So
The next two competitors are both very good at the yoke carry.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So
Like,
this is going to be, I know Ray is very fast, so this is going to be close.
I know Camilla is often quite conservative with her moving events, but I also know she's done well over 300 on a yoke.
Well, we
So
did
she
at
can afford to
Australia's
be-
Strongest Open last year.
Yeah.
Our yoke
yeah,
was 300,
300,
and
so
she completed it.
when you're 80 kilos under something that you've done, I think you can afford to be a little less conservative
Yeah,
with your footwork
yeah.
and just dash. So
Yeah.
I cannot pick these two.
This is going to be neck and neck the whole way.
So Heidi and Louise have stitched up 3rd and 4th. Well, no, I mean, a minimum of third and fourth for Heidi.
Yeah. Both very good
fast.
picks.
Head to head, though.
It is head to head. It
This
is close.
Camilla might have just a tiny bit on Ray at the moment, but I reckon Ray's just
I think
coming
Ray's
back.
got it.
Oh, my goodness.
I can't even call it.
Oh, my goodness.
I can't even call it.
This is going to come down to the wire.
From where we're sitting, you can't call it.
We will have to wait to see what comes in from the
Ray's
timekeepers.
That was a sprint.
So it sounded like Camilla went over first.
Oh.
And I reckon she did based on the celebration. So the time is actually taken when they cross the line, not when the yoke hits the deck.
Holy.
Oh, my goodness.
0.10 of a second in it.
Oh, not even 0.07.
Oh, your eyes are better than my eyes.
So it looks like Camilla has just stitched up the win there with 10.67 seconds and Ray with 10.74. So you cannot get closer than that. But it looks like another event win for Camilla.
Well, that's it for the ladies. Now we got the men's. How heavy is their yoke?
So the gents will be doing 320 kilos. So just an even 100 thrown on, 4 red plates.
That seems fair.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So 225 pounds. Not that we deal with those.
Oh, don't even ask me.
No.
Every time I see it, it's like divide it by 2.2.
Yeah.
Where's my calculator at?
So just recapping those times, we have Camilla takes out the event with 10.6 seconds. Ray in an extremely close second place with 10.74. Heidi with 17.64 for third. And Louise hot on her tracks in fourth with 20.63. Tanita then with 26.37 without any drops, I might add. Josie just behind her with 30.13. Then we move to Maddie with 49 seconds. And then Taylor with 15.1 metres and Tamika with 3.2 and a PB to boot. So not a lot of mix-ups there out of the first event.
No, it looked like everyone executed, well, from our point of view, no one made any mistakes. Looks like they executed the yoke carry perfectly.
Yeah, so the ones that could carried fast,
Yeah.
and the ones that hadn't carried it before carried it as far as they could.
Exactly.
Yeah, no mistakes, which is definitely what we want to see.
And when it comes to an event, and from a coaching point of view, like, that's all you can ask for. Like,
yeah, that's my aim when I compete. And I don't compete all that often, and I don't compete at the highest level like these guys do, but like, it's a big win for me if I can go in and just execute the events as best I can and have no technical flaws. You can only be as strong as you can be. You can't magic another 20 kilos on your deadlift or something. I mean, sometimes you can, like, get a comp PB, but that strength is already there. So, efficient technique, that's number one for me.
Yeah. If you execute your plan, you do everything that you came in to do, you can walk away with your head held high. No doubt about it.
So, the gents, it looks like the yokes are loaded to 320 kilos. Again, we've got an odd number, so we'll see Ben Kleinberg come out first. I know this fella likes a yoke. Followed by Sam versus Jack, then Dan versus Alec, and then Michael versus Carl. So
I have a feeling that it's going to be close amongst all of them. What do you think?
Right across the board.
I don't think there's going to be a big separation. But again, I don't know these athletes as well as you do.
Yeah,
so
look, I mean, there's some athletes they're training in their comp performance on motocross, but like I know Sam out of Bendigo loves a yoke. I know Ben loves a yoke. I reckon Alec will be really fast.
Yeah.
Carl will always be quick. He's no stranger to a yoke. I'm not sure about Barry. Like I know he's a strong presser, but I reckon.
Can he move?
He's got that powerlifting background. He's sort of yet to be yet to be tested in a moving event,
I think so.
reckon.
And from experience and watching athletes, hang on, we're about to start our first lift. Oh, he's off.
So,
All right, nice and steady.
Ben has opted for a very high pick.
Yeah.
That's okay. Like, he's not swinging the yoke, so it's not
That's all right.
dragging on the ground. He is just racking up meters at 320.
He's slow and steady. Sometimes that's the best approach.
Yeah, that's no put downs yet.
All right,
there's the
first
first
drop.
put down. I reckon he's about 6 meters in on that 20-meter course.
Yep.
He's going to need support from the crowd, though, to finish this. This is
You can
a
see
hard
this is
Friday night in the
yeah.
office.
And you can tell this is hard for him. You can see the instability in his core. So it's a first giveaway. Well, he's made it halfway, so
So you can see he's got
all
all
right.
that.
He's gone for his third pick now, and he's still
Still-
moving.
still
He's
moving.
making meters.
Just got to be careful when you start seeing that movement through the midline. That's when the yoke
I think
can
he'll
go
finish
from-
it. He's going to finish it. Oh, not
There's
quite.
the time limit.
Not quite. That's a solid distance to start him off, though.
Yeah, 320 is
No joke.
that's not mess around weight
No.
for the under 80s. That's 4 times body weight.
Oh, yeah.
So we've got the timekeeper Hannah just marking that distance. Just get that measurement in. We do that down to the centimetre to make sure that we've got an even spread.
Make sure our spotters and loaders don't get ahead of themselves and move the yoke
Yeah,
before
it
they
ha-
take
it-
the measurement.
It has happened.
Oh,
We do mark now, so we have
Yeah.
the ref will come out, the timekeeper will come out and mark that centre point, and then
Yep.
theoretically the yoke can move back, and we don't have to go and count
yep.
line markers to
Look,
estimate the
I
score.
think this is pretty clever what they're doing, moving the yoke back.
I reckon if I was competing, I'd probably bring my own dollies out with me and pop it on.
It's not quite how it works, mate.
Yeah, look. Work smarter, not harder. That's kind of
Exactly.
The opposite
That's
of
why
strongman.
you'll see every single strongman gym will have a trolley in the gym.
Absolutely. So a confirmed distance of 14.6 metres for Ben Kleinberg there, opening up the under 80s. But now we will move to head-to-head again, where we'll see Sam out of Bendigo versus Jack from the Gold Coast. So Jack is on the left-hand side. Sam is on the side of Sandy, the giant four-wheel drive, which we'll be bringing out for the next event.
It's a beautiful forward drive.
Oh,
Like, I'm jealous. I want
yeah,
one.
I'm super jelly.
Yeah.
Super jelly. It is heavy.
Dreams are free.
though. We can all dream. We'll be talking all about Sandy in the next event, in the worst carpool ever. Got a bit of a treat hiding out the back for the ladies as well. But
Oh, that's flash.
yeah, we'll talk about
Yeah,
that in a
that's
minute.
nice.
But for now, we have Sam versus Jack. They are taking their positions. There is the go call.
Oh, okay. So straight away, you can see how hard this is for these guys.
So these guys are working extremely hard.
Wow.
There's the first put down.
You can see the determination in their faces, though. Like, they're not going to quit.
So Sam has just inched a little bit further ahead.
Wow. These weights are no joke, Mason.
Yeah,
Seriously.
And what it is doing is putting into perspective Ben's first attempt.
Yeah.
So, like, it's really hard when you're out first. You don't know whether that's a good score or not. But, like, he's well out in front of these fellas at the moment. So.
Yeah, and it goes to show how different events can vary for every athlete. Like, you could be good at everything and just have one really not great event.
Yep. So we've got about 10 seconds left.
Wow, these guys are working hard for
5
it.
seconds. Sam is just looking for every centimetre.
Oh, he made a good distance on that last pick then.
And there is the time.
All right.
So hard work for those
Oh,
lads.
they're both walking off pretty gingerly.
So we're going to measure both of these distances. But it does look like Ben at the moment has the lead so far.
Yeah. There's only like 1.5 meters, I'd say, in between these two guys' yoke runs.
Yeah, if
Like,
that. It's super close.
Yeah.
So
Because the measurement's taken from the centre of the yoke.
Yep. So from the start line to the centre of the yoke, I'm trying to gauge it off of those line markers, which are all 1 metre increments.
Okay, that makes it easy.
So confirmed 5.2 metres for Jack and 3.3 for
Oh,
Sam.
okay.
So
Well,
Jack has just
I wear
edged
contact
ahead.
lenses, so my eyes aren't the greatest.
So
My
after-
1 metre is a 2 metre, so...
Oh, no, it was pretty close. Like 2 metres difference. You said 1.5.
Yeah.
So just confirming, we still have Ben out in the lead with 14.6 metres,
Yeah.
followed by Jack with 5.2 and Sam with 3.3. We'll set those heights for Dan and Alex. So we have Dan.
Oh, this is a hard one. Like I have a feeling these two guys might finish the course.
I can't tell.
Yeah.
I've never seen Dan carry yoke. I know Alex is fairly quick. So they've taken their positions.
Oh, yeah. Oh, good pick,
there's
good
a
pick.
goal. Oh, fast start for Alec there.
All right, Alec is off to a great start.
He's heading back to Adelaide with his yoke, I reckon. He's
Well, that's the
straight
thing.
out of the gates.
They need to keep that core strong and that brace as tight as they can.
Chipping away really conservatively there is Dan from WA.
Yep.
Oh, these are good
Both moving
times.
well.
Yeah. I think you might be right, G. I reckon we will see two finishes
Yep.
here. Alec is making a dash at the end. He's not quite there, but he is really close. There's the finish for Alec. Now, can Dan make up that ground? He's starting to get that death wobble under the yoke.
He is, and he's taking those really big steps, isn't he? Like,
Yeah,
that's a lot of
that's-
weight to
that's
take
the-
on one leg.
That's the danger zone in yoke.
Yeah.
And, like, you've got to throw everything in competition, but
You do. It's
there's
not-
6 more events.
Yep.
Like, you can't break yourself under the yoke for
No.
the sake of a couple of metres. So he has called it there. And
Yeah,
I
good
think
effort.
I think that's
give him,
that's a good idea.
That'll give him second place so far, I think, that effort. It'll be close.
That'll be really close to Ben's score.
Yeah.
I think he might have just pipped him.
So, like, for everyone at home, with the yoke carry, the ideal way to pick a yoke is to take those short, fast steps at the start, and then as the momentum builds up, then your steps start to stride out when you've got that momentum to keep going forward. But when you pick it first and you take those big steps first...
The analogy that I use when I'm coaching it is the yoke is like a semi-trailer.
Yep.
And a normal human is like I don't know, pick a BMW or Ferrari
Yeah.
or whatever. When you're at the traffic lights, you can't just like hoon off like a
Absolutely
BMW
not.
would. You've got to get all that weight moving. You've got to go
Yeah.
up through all the gears, and you can still end up going pretty quick.
Yeah.
But you can't just get there like
Can't
that.
go it straight away.
So
what was that final distance?
Yeah, so
Oh, yeah.
Alec has taken the lead with a time score of 33.73, and it is confirmed Dan has done 16.4 metres, placing him in second place. So
Yep.
really good result there for him with only 2 fellas left to come, Berry and Sherry.
Yeah. And we've got, who we've got next? We've got Michael, and then we've got Carl. So,
Yeah, so
like you said, Michael's got a powerlifting background. From experience and watching other lifters come from a powerlifting background into strongman, it's hard for them to transition into moving events after doing static-only training for a very long time.
Yeah, true, especially at these weights.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see what Michael does. Like, he's
I've got
strong,
a
no
fe-
doubt.
yeah,
I think no doubt he's going to do
I'm not
well.
writing him off. I
Yeah.
think he'll still be quick. It's just all right. Here's the call.
All right, great start for both of
fast
them.
for Carl. He's just edging ahead, but Berry is moving really quickly.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Carl is rocketing
off.
that yoke down. Yeah, that is domination from
Yeah.
Carl there on that 320-kilo yoke.
And Michael doing
But
really
Michael's
well.
moving really well. He's just got to watch those slides.
Yep.
It's not really doing them to advantage, though. It's
No,
just really hard
it's-
on this
yeah.
slippery floor, but he has finished the course as well.
Yeah,
So
because when the weight comes down and hits the smooth concrete, it naturally wants to move forward anyway.
Yeah.
So
we tentatively wait Michael's time. 27.81.
Oh,
he
dominated.
He has.
Absolutely dominated.
So Carl with 13.68.
Yeah.
Domination. But closely followed by Michael Berry with 27.8.
He moved well.
Yeah, he did.
So based off those scores, we've got overall Camilla sitting in first and Carl still sitting in first place after 2 events.
All right, Carl, there's a scintillating time in the yoke. In fact, you won by about 15 seconds. You got pushed all the way on log, but geez, you dominated that yoke.
I did. I always love an interview straight after a speed event when we're gassed. Yeah, it's a really good event. I got a couple of niggles and wasn't sure, but it felt good. So I thought, yeah, better put on a bit of a show for the crowd. Next up, I'll show you some skin, so you get something to look at too. Thanks, guys.
Well, there you go with it. If you want to come back and see some skin, come back. If you don't want to come in and see some skin, I'll warn you and you can not look at it. Either way, Carl Sherry, 2 events up, 6 to go. Good luck for the rest of the show.
All right, so that concludes event number 2 of 8. This gives you some
Still
idea
early
of
days.
what sort of weekend these competitors are going to have. So,
Yep.
Recapping those scores, we've got Carl taking it out, followed by Michael, followed by Alex, all with time scores, and then distance scores. We have Dan Bonney coming in 4th with 16.4 metres, followed by Ben Kleinberg with 14.6, and then Jack Allsbrook from Queensland with 5.2, and then Sam Rice with 3.3.
Look, I said at the start for the men's, it was a dogfight for those last 4 placings.
Yep.
Like, there was nothing in it.
Yep, you're all over it. So
Yeah.
we've warmed up their posterior chain.
Oh, that, yeah.
Now we're going to
yeah.
warm up their grip. So
Yep.
we are going, or the floor staff, I'll take that back, I'm not. The floor staff is going to reset those yokes up at the far end, and they will
Yep.
actually become the anchor point for the
Worst carpool ever.
For the worst carpool ever. So we're going to have a little bit of time out here on the floor while the crew move these vehicles into position, set up these winches. But we will be back with all the action at 6:15
Yep.
for event number 3, the worst carpool ever.
I'm excited because we haven't seen it.
Yeah, no.
So,
As far as I can tell, I got the idea for the event by watching the early World's Strongest Man
Yep.
videos where they had a wrist roller. So
Yep.
it's similar to what they'll be doing at the other end, but
Yep.
they were up on a tower
Yep.
and they were just winching a plate up
Okay.
vertically up a scale, and
Yep.
they could measure how far it got.
that would have been tough. As soon as you let go, then it drops,
Well,
doesn't
that's it. So
yeah.
there was no brakes on that.
No.
They had to hold it even when they were resting.
Yeah.
I looked at that and I thought that would be cool, but then I'd have to drag giant towers all the way to Queensland. And then I
Yes.
thought to myself,
Already carting up enough equipment, are you? Yep.
yeah. I thought, I wonder if we can do a carpool with it.
Yeah.
And initially I was like, nah, probably not. It's going to be too hard. But I hitched up the family Corolla. I put my 2-year-old in the driver's seat and told him to hold the steering wheel because
Yep.
I was assuming I wasn't going to go very fast, and I didn't. But
Dad of the year.
yeah, hooked it all up and said, hang on the steering wheel, Sonny, and gave it a go, and
Yep.
it was slow and it was horrible, but it did
Doable.
move.
Yeah.
So I went, yep, a little
Yep.
bit more testing, throw it at these athletes, and
Awesome.
here we are.
I like how you say you just moved the Corolla and you're like, yeah,
I'll take that back.
Let's
moved
throw
it-
this in for the
Nah,
under 64s.
I moved it
Yeah.
fairly well.
Yeah.
So I kind of looked at that and went, okay, this is reasonable, but
Yep.
let's give the guys a heavier vehicle.
Yep.
Let's give the girls a heavier vehicle. So
Love it.
Can
I'm
confirm.
excited for it. It's going to be good.
the ladies will be on a sports car.
It's fancy.
And the gents will be on Sandy, which is a
beast.
Yeah, the giant Land Cruiser with all the trimmings.
Oh, yeah.
We will be back shortly. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. We will be back soon.
I'm Dan.
I'm Samuel.
And what weight class are you guys?
Under.
Start with the big question. Who do you think is going to win this weekend?
Carl.
Carl, yeah. It's pretty hard to not say Carl with his pedigree, but
Who's going to win? Starting off the big one.
Oh, Carl. Why the big one? It'd be the first time in my life I've ever been called that.
I think Ben.
No, I think he's still delirious from his weight cut.
Carlos,
Me.
you are a lot of people's favourites to win. Do you think you're going to be able to back this up?
Ooh, I am Carl Sherry and I am strongman. In reality, I'm pretty broken, to be honest. So if my body holds together, I am capable. But the wheels have got to stay on. So we'll see. Like, it's anyone's a chance, I guess. And there's a few, X Factor events that are a bit random. So yeah, we will see. So yes, historically, I do quite well. But again, I'm not exactly in top. I had an Achilles rupture. I tore my calf last week. So my springiness isn't there. So I'll push press this weekend. I would like to get back to jerking, but at the moment, yeah, my body's just not ready.
Any dark horses you're suspecting this weekend, first of all, in your weight class?
I always think everybody's a threat. If something real bad happens to Carl that I have nothing to do with, Gary's good.
You don't need to. I'm I already have had everything bad happen to me. I'm here and being held together by coke today, so you don't actually need to add fuel to the fire. And if I survive this one, I'll definitely break next week. Yeah. Hey, the boys, so yeah, no.
He's Alec.
yeah.
Alec for sure is going to be up there. He's competed against him in a couple of comps, a couple of moving events. He's fast. He's always fast.
Yeah, it's been coached by Carl as well.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of got the inside scoop on like Carl's movements today.
Like Wallace? We were just Alec. People.
Well, a lot of people have counted you as a dark horse. Some people have overlooked you. How do you think you're going to go?
I feel pretty good. If things go as planned, I'd hope podium. So I do back myself that I'll do well. Persisting cramps, stay out of it. I'd like to get the frame, freight, and stones would be nice.
And how do you feel competing against your coach? Now, who is your coach?
Carl Sherry. One of the best. Yeah, it's exciting. It's good to first time ever competing against him, so should be good. I know from training with him that I'm a little bit speedier, so should get him hopefully on some quick events. But yeah, good luck. Made a best man win. It should be a good day. I hope everyone pulls their weight and does their best. Yeah. Sweet.
Thank you very much, Alan.
Beautiful. Thank you.
All right. I'm doing it. Welcome back to Meatstock in Toowoomba, where we are about to launch event number 3 of Australia's Strongest Man and Woman Lightweight Edition. It's the worst carpool ever. We've been talking a little bit about it.
Yep.
Let's just have a quick look what this thing actually looks like.
Fresh from the top secret research laboratory of the Stand or Submit compound, this is certainly the most unique carpool event you'll see in Strongman. Athletes will have 60 seconds to reel in a vehicle using only the power of their grip and forearms. Those unable to finish the course will be credited with a distance score. Chalk up and hope for the best.
All right, so I can confirm that looks exactly as ordinary as it looks on the video.
Yep, it looked how I imagined it to look.
Yeah.
Terrible.
So I'm kind of like, you can't see it in frame, but it's a bit bright here because we have a very bright orange Mustang in front of us.
It's
that
beautiful.
The under 64 women will be pulling. I can confirm it's around 1.8 tonne. And next to it is Sandy.
It's an absolute weapon.
I don't want to offend the owner, Megan, by messing up the model name, but everybody out in the crowd will be able to see what it is when the video comes online. But it is not 1.8.
The number plate has 79 on it, so it makes me think it's a 79 series. Is that right?
Yeah, but I don't know my Toyota model, so I'm pretty sure it's a 79 series. But it's had everything under the sun done to it. The event sponsor for this one is actually ARB Capella Bar. Have I got that right?
Yes, I can see it on the
Okay,
on
no,
the
the
vehicle now.
pronunciation
Yeah,
of it being
Capalaba.
Victorian. I've
Yeah.
messed it up once today already. I was just like, oh no, pressure's on. So they've done all the work on Sandy, and they've actually pitched in some prize packs for the fastest pulls of the weekend. So it doesn't even matter who wins the comp overall.
What are the prize packs?
Oh, now again, you can tell I'm not a four-wheel driver, but
Yeah.
it's a bunch of four-wheel drive accessories. And there was some of those really spiky surfboards.
I'm jealous. Do we get the same prize packs when it's our title series?
Maybe. I can guarantee you that their ARB did not work on the car flip. It's the
They
car
don't want
flip
any
car.
part of that.
No one wants any part of that, but we'll see what we can work out. So we've got some prizes from ARB Capalaba for the fastest pulls, plus the points will count towards the overall total of the whole competition. So
Honestly, regardless of how the athletes do, I hope they all do well. It's going to look amazing. Seriously.
well, I'm actually going to go against you here.
Yeah.
It's going to be slow.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be
So
slow.
the thing,
it's just
the thing,
cool.
the vehicles will move,
Yeah.
but they're not going to be flying
No.
like we get used to with an ordinary vehicle pull in strongman.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
normally the athletes would be pulling a truck or a
Yeah.
bus or a boat or something huge, but they would be doing it with a harness. They would have a lead rope to pull on.
Yeah.
They'd be using all their leg power,
Yeah.
all their arm power pulling on the lead rope.
This is an endurance race.
It is, and it's a test of grip.
Yeah.
Because all they can use is purely the grip in their hands
That's
to try
it.
and twist that bar and get it to move. So
And I guess, like, while they're doing the event, if they do have to stop, the vehicles aren't going to roll backwards, are they?
if the floor is nice and flat in the
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Toowoomba Showgrounds,
Yeah.
it's very good. We've
Yeah.
done some testing over the last 2 days. There is one dead spot, but it's out of the range that we're
Okay.
moving. So the vehicle won't roll back.
Yeah.
But in testing, what we did find is if you can hold constant tension on the lead ropes and keep the vehicle moving, you'll
had a better
cover more
chance.
meters. As
Yeah.
soon as it stops, there's slack goes into the lead rope, and then you've got to absorb all that again, and your hands are already fried.
Oh, yeah.
Your forearms are already cooked. It's really hard to get them started again. So
This is going to make it very tough for the athletes heading into Event 4, the Zercher carry. Their forearms are going to be fried.
true. Like,
Yeah.
I don't
So-
envy that.
No,
and
I
then
don't
the
envy them.
first event tomorrow is the frame carry, which
Oh,
is grip.
Yeah.
So bit
Yeah.
mean, whoever programmed these events, but oh well.
It is what it is. They're strongman, isn't
Yeah.
it?
So it's possibly one of the shortest vehicle pulls that has been done in strongman. It's a 5-meter course. Normally a longer vehicle pull or a heavier vehicle pull would be done over a minimum of 15, sometimes
Yeah.
20 or even
Yeah.
25.
Because
but
it takes, in a normal truck pull or something, it takes a little bit of meterage to get the momentum going for them to actually go fast.
Definitely.
So you
Yep.
need the extra space to give them room to do that.
Yep.
Yeah, not with this event.
Not with this event. So they've got 60 seconds. They can either finish the 5 meters or get a distance score, just like the Yoke,
Yep.
but slower.
Yep.
My suggestion for people in the crowd here, and then hopefully our cameras will do this when we're on, watch the vehicles. They'll be moving. I want to see the faces and the torment
On the athletes'
on
faces.
the athletes, because
yes.
I reckon it's going to
Yes.
get pretty animated.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
We were testing yesterday, and it got pretty animated.
Yeah,
Like,
oh.
it's almost like a feeling of helplessness.
This is where you
because-
don't want to see your competition photo package afterwards.
Yeah, maybe
These are
we'll
the ones
just-
I'd skip
yeah,
out on.
Everybody turn the cameras off.
These are the ones I'd
Yeah.
skip out on. Next.
Yeah. Next. Yeah, we were. It's very deflating because you put all that effort in, it
Yeah.
gets moving, you think, you know what, I've got this, and then you glance up and you see that you've moved the vehicle 1 meter,
If that.
if that. And part of the reason is because the reel is so small, so
Yeah.
what you're actually winding onto is so little. It means
Yeah.
that every time you rotate it, it's not moving the vehicle very far.
It would be like, what, 10 centimetres every rotation?
I reckon you're pretty close
Yeah.
there. Like I haven't got my calculator to do
No,
my,
I'm just
my
having
pi-
a look
my
at the
pi
bar
D,
from
but,
here. Like, just looking at the bar from here,
Yep.
one rotation, you'd be looking at 10 centimetres,
Yep.
I'd say.
Yep. So
Yeah.
it's a 50 mil axle bar, which the athletes are no stranger to.
No.
They use it for overhead pressing or deadlifting. It's not a narrow bar, so they're
No.
already in that wide grip.
It's quite a versatile piece of equipment, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's used for a lot. Deadlifts,
Yeah, I'm going to
overheads.
lose so many friends.
The worst
over
car
this.
pull ever.
Well,
Just fits in there so
yeah,
nicely,
yeah, it's
Mason.
just- I went out on a limb when I named it that, but like it's catching on. Like
Well, we're missing a strongman in this event that would match this event.
the worst thing to happen to strongman. Shout out to Cam Taylor, the worst
Yes.
thing to happen to anything. He'll be competing next weekend. So
Okay, yeah.
While we've got a couple of minutes, that's actually probably a good time to chat about what's coming up
Yeah.
in the calendar.
Yep.
Well, the AS calendar. There's so much happening in strongman. We really only talk about what we're doing.
Yeah,
'cause,
yeah.
There's only so many hours in the night, but
Literally.
this weekend, we've got the lightweights competing now and tomorrow, and then on Sunday we actually have the Masters.
Yes.
So that's athletes that are over 40. They will actually close the show. So they've got 5 events in one day.
Why do they only get 5, Mason? Is it because they're old?
Well, it's because most of them said that they had to be back to the home by 5:30.
They got curfews.
Yeah, so the orderlies can get them in bed and
Okay.
give them their meds. So they said, just give us 5 events, we'll knock it over, so we can head back to the RSL for a feed, do a bit of bingo, and then head home. So, no, it was more just a logistical thing. A lot of them
Yeah.
were quite happy to try and do 5 events, smash them out in a
5
day.
events is still a lot. It's a big day.
It's a big day.
Yeah, in one
so-
day. 5 events in one day is a big
Yeah,
day.
and it's heavy. So
Yeah.
the heavyweight masters do the equivalent weights that our 105s do.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's heavy.
Yeah.
That's heavy. And then the under 100 gents do the weights that our under 90s guys do. And then the Masters women do a combination of the 73 and 82 weights.
Yeah.
Which will all be seen next weekend
In Bendigo.
in Bendigo. So
Yep.
Meatstock heads down the highway next weekend to Bendigo. It's for me, I'm like, oh, great. It's just around the corner from my house, but it's also 2,000 kilometres away. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's great.
So not
but-
quite.
Not quite. It's still a
It's
bit
still
of a
closer
drive.
than
So-
Queensland, but
Yeah, so next weekend we'll see the middleweight finals where we'll crown Australia's strongest man and woman in the under 73 and under 82 divisions for the women.
Yep.
And the under 90 and the 105 divisions for the gents.
Yep.
And then we have a little bit of a break for a few weeks, and then Meatstock heads to Sydney
Yes.
for Australia's strongest man and woman in the open category.
Yes, that's where I'll be.
Yeah, looking
Yeah,
forward to it.
I'm excited. I'm actually really excited. I've been hitting some crazy log numbers in training, and
I was going to ask you about
Yeah.
that, so now I'm going to ask you about it live on
Yeah,
air where
yeah.
you can't hide.
No.
Where's your log at the moment?
well,
Like-
I haven't maxed out, and I haven't actually maxed out in quite a few years on the log, so I don't really know my exact 1 rep max.
Good,
But in
good.
training last week, I hit 3 sets of 6 at 100. So
Okay.
it's up there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
3 sets of 6 at 100.
Oh, yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, I
Yeah.
mean, you'll be doing the same max log event that we've done here.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. 3
So-
attempts.
Yep. So definitely we'll go past 100 on that.
I want 120 plus.
Love it.
That's what I want.
Nice.
Yep.
What
So-
did you hit at ASI in January?
Well,
I
so-
realised that you'd been out of
Yeah.
the sport for a little bit. For
Yeah.
those at home, G had a first child and was just coming back from that and
Yeah.
still stood in on a pro open women's comp with two of the best female lifters in the world, Andrew and Donna.
Yep.
Shayna from New Zealand.
And I still placed respectively. Like, I
Yeah.
came 5th in that lineup. Like, I was not mad about that.
Huge.
I was legitimately happy to just get an invite.
Yeah.
I was,
Well, you're
you
already
know,
Australia's
4
strongest woman,
months.
so like, you know,
Yeah.
you're on the list.
4 months postpartum. That log, I hit 90.
Yep.
And that was hard.
Yep.
But again, that was 4 months postpartum. And my previous PB is 105.
Yeah, okay.
But that was from like a year and a half prior to that event. So,
Yep.
you know, it could be any. It's going to be 120 at least.
Love
At
it.
least.
At least.
At least.
Now, there's a couple
What's
of
the
girls.
current Australian record?
I don't know, 125, something like that.
Yeah. Katie Blunden has it, doesn't
Yep.
she? Yeah.
So there's the pressing in the open women's categories has come
up there.
a long way
Yeah.
in the last year or two. So, I mean, no offense, but I don't reckon 120 is enough to win it.
No,
Yeah,
no.
which
I
is-
just
which is-
for a personal achievement, yeah, I,
know,
want
know,
120,
like, that
but
to me is really exciting.
we're
And
gonna
Big
see
G's
more.
Like, I'm going to do 120,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, yeah, that won't even win it. Like,
No.
Katie, Ari.
yeah, I'm
Huge-
super.
huge
That's someone I'm
presses.
very. She's an underdog, Ari.
Yeah,
I'm really.
yep.
I've been watching her training, and I've
Another
even said it to
Queenslander.
her, like, yeah,
Yep.
she's coming a long way in
Yeah,
such a short time.
And her deadlifts come up a long way.
Yes.
So, That would be really exciting. So that is
Yes.
Australia's strongest man and woman in Sydney at the Sydney Showgrounds. We've got a huge auditorium.
19th, 20th of April.
Love it.
Yeah.
Now, what's next after that? So that concludes the title series.
The log deadlift stone event. Oh, I'm excited.
So technically, that puts us into a little bit of an off-season. I've tried to make it so
It's 5 weeks after.
Well, it's in the qualifying off-season. So
Yes.
we finish all the title shows by Sydney.
Yep.
Everyone's won a title. Not everyone's won a title. All
No.
the titles have been won.
Yeah.
So then the next qualifiers for that don't start again until July. So we've got a bit of space from April to July, but we have a standalone comp called the Log Dead Stone Championships, and it's pretty self-explanatory.
That's it.
Three attempts on a log,
Yep.
like we saw today.
Yep.
3 attempts on a deadlift and 3 attempts on a stone, and the person with the biggest total, like kilogram total, is the winner of the category.
And from what I understand, the winner receives an invite to the official Strongman Games.
Correct. Yeah.
Awesome.
So the same as the title winner
Yep.
out of these shows gets an invite, so does Log Dead and Stone. So it's like
Okay.
the second chance in Oz to be able to go through to OSG.
Amazing. Amazing. So good to see more and more opportunities to get overseas.
Yeah, like I mean, we both travelled to OSG this year.
Yep.
One competing
Yes,
and getting
yeah,
on the podium,
yeah.
and one moving things around
Yeah.
the floor for 3 days straight and complaining. That was me. Huge show.
Yeah,
so
massive.
it's over 3 days. There was nearly 400 athletes competing. It's
long
it's
days.
wild.
Yeah.
And like it's for all the weight categories that isn't heavyweight men. It's the pinnacle of the sport.
It is. Yep.
So it's really exciting that we've got lots of opportunities for Aussies to get there. And they're taking up those opportunities as well. They're flying over, they're throwing down, and
Well,
doing
that's it.
really well. So
And that's the thing. We have to take the opportunities, otherwise the opportunities stop coming.
Yeah.
So
we
it's
are
an exciting
around
future.
4 minutes away from kicking off. We
Yep.
will check that all of our crew are in position. It looks like they are, but we'll wait for a signal from the floor. So we will be running the 2 vehicles simultaneously. We're going to do our best to guesstimate how far they've moved them. Hopefully it's more than 0.
I think everyone's going to be able to move it.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just how long can they keep twisting and keep hanging
That's
on.
it. Before their
Excuse the pun.
forearm grip strength burns out.
Yeah.
From experience, once that burn sensation sets in, it's hard to get past.
Definitely in the forearms as
Yeah.
well and grip, because like they're relatively small
You just get
muscle
that
groups.
pump. Yep.
Yeah. So they recover relatively quickly, but they die quicker as well. So
Yep.
that's my experience with grip stuff. Once it goes,
Yeah.
it goes.
Yep.
And it happens quick.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
we will see how hard these athletes have been training this. So I've seen lots of creative versions of these in training.
Well, we have at our gym, Northside Strong, a little implement called the Grippedo. And
Is that like a
it's a legitimate name for it. That's what it's called,
Grippedo?
Grippedo.
So like a torpedo?
Yeah, but it's a grip.
Okay.
It's a grip tool. And it actually slides on the end of a barbell.
Right.
So you weight down the other end of the barbell so it doesn't fly off the rack. And then you attach a band or a pulling like rope or something to it. And then you add weights to the bottom of it and then you wind it up.
The Grippedo?
Yeah, it's the
I'll have to have a
Grippedo.
look. I've never
It's a
heard of it.
legitimate thing.
Oh, take your
It was
word for
gifted to us as
Nice.
well. Yeah.
So we've seen a lot of
Yeah.
people setting up axle bars in racks and then putting a sled
Yes.
out down the track and
Yep.
then pulling the sled towards themselves. It's good training. Like it's not exactly the same as this, but like as long as you're doing that twisting movement on that 50 mil bar, you're gonna be doing. So I hope these athletes crush it. I honestly do. Like,
and obviously the athletes that have larger hands are going to do slightly better, I think, than the athletes that have smaller hands.
Yep.
Like with all grip events.
Most grip events, but I think in this one, because it's that 50 mil axle, I think that bit of extra hand size will
Huge
help.
advantage,
But
yeah.
You mentioned it earlier in the day, definitely a fatigue thing. So
Yep.
having brutal grip is one thing, being able to apply it at maximum power for basically 60 seconds or
Yep.
quicker if you can finish it,
Yep.
that's another thing. So
Absolutely.
they're just double checking these lines because I reckon like centimeters are going to count in this one.
Mils. I'm going to call it now, mils.
Hopefully our trundle wheel can measure down to millimetres, but definitely centimetres. We're not going to be rounding up or down metres. We're just getting that nailed. Having a look at the competitors here, there's some nervous leg movements from Ray there. She's doing a little dance. She's excited. the lads are all just having a chat over the back. They don't seem too stressed
And it's
about
interesting to see all the athletes, how they psych themselves up for the events. You've got some that are just chatty and so carefree, and then others are just in the zone. You can see it on their faces, just laser focus, and that's all they're thinking about.
I guess the other
and neither
thing,
way is better than the other. It's whatever suits the
works
athlete.
for you, yeah, 100%. The other thing that might be causing a couple of nerves on this one is they literally haven't had a go on this.
No, this is the first time for all of them.
They have no idea whether they're going to be able to move it or not, or how fast, or they've got some idea what it feels like, but not on the actual implement.
No.
So log, they've been training that for months.
Yes.
Like, they've got a pretty good idea. Deadlift, similar thing.
Yep.
This one, no.
No idea. It's always nice to have an event like that, though, in a competition, because it keeps the athletes on their toes.
To me, it's the quintessential part of strongman.
Yes.
So, right since day one, strongman is meant to be who is the strongest on the day, any day.
Yes.
And as
not
the
just
sport
at a
gets-
peak.
Yeah,
It helps, but
it does. And as the competition has got more competitive, people really try and refine their training a lot more. But part of it always just needs to be who is the strongest on the day, no heads up.
Yep.
Just get into it.
Yep. We're almost ready to start. All the lights are on.
So Big Tim has taken to the floor. The ladies are heading down to the...
Mason looks very comfortable in that Land Cruiser, doesn't he?
Yeah, and
he is
clear,
like
other Mason.
The other Mason, yeah. He is like a little kid in a candy store right now. If you had to choose one of the vehicles to take home, which would it be?
Oh, don't make me do that.
I can choose straight up. I can choose. It's easy decision for me.
Sandy.
Yes. Yeah. The Land Cruiser.
Sandy, yeah. I mean, it's not that
That's
I've got
my type of vehicle.
Yeah, it's not that I've got it. You'd be struggling to get in and out of the Mustang these days. It's a long way down for an open competitor. I was struggling to get up into Sandy the other day.
I was standing next to it before. I'd have to climb in.
Oh,
it is the lift on it is massive.
If Big G does, then that's significant.
Yeah.
So the Mustang does sound very nice, though. So
yeah, I heard it before when it started
up. The engines will
up.
be running because we keep them on to make sure the brakes aren't doing anything funny, and they'll reverse them up, hopefully, when they finish the course.
Yeah,
Both of these vehicles, they don't have air brakes, so normally when we do truck pulls, we have to have them running to make sure those air brakes aren't locking on or starting to lock on.
Yeah.
But they will be running. When we hear those start up, I reckon we'll be pretty close to...
I'm really excited about this event.
Oh, no, there's a lot of anticipation.
For an event that's not going to go very fast, I'm really excited.
The biggest hype for the slowest car pull ever.
Love it. And the crowds, we got a big crowd as well.
Back in,
Yep.
So our drivers are in position. It's important we got those in. They will have the vehicles in neutral. They'll have their foot on the brake to start so that the athlete can actually put a bit of tension on the strap to begin with. But then on the athlete-ready whistle, they'll just take their foot off the brake and then just keep it pointing in a straight line and hopefully travel 5 metres.
Mason is very chuffed with himself.
He was so excited when he heard that he got to be the driver.
Yeah. So who we got first up for the...
That's a very good question.
For the
Let
events.
me take a look at my notes here. So, in the ladies, Tamika is opening. Samuel has actually come and had a word with me. He won't be partaking in this. He's hurt his hand on the log.
Okay. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's tough, but he's a trooper. He's going to come back for the Zercher carry.
Oh, okay.
Like he's all splintered up. But
Yeah.
He's still thinks he can do it, so that's great. But he'll opt out of this one.
Okay.
So for the blokes, Jack Allsbrook will be opening.
All right.
So Tamika and Jack, followed by Taylor and Ben, who has been training this a lot. I see a lot of his training videos. bit of a grip enthusiast as well.
Yeah, okay.
Still cursing me though, so it really must
So
be that
even
bad.
even the people that love grip events the most are still not loving this.
Just sticking my head out there to see where we're at.
I think they just have to make sure the tension on the straps are even for everyone. All right.
All right, now it's the business end.
I hope everyone back home can hear how awesome these vehicles sound.
So I'd like to make a joke that the maybe the winch on Sandy's a bit busted, and that's why we've got to use the athletes to pull it home. But I don't think anything is broken on that car.
No,
That all
I don't
looks in
think
tip-top
anything's
condition.
broken. No.
All right. So I think we have Tamika
all
up
right,
first.
Tamika's moving it straight
Oh,
away.
it's off.
She's not wasting any time.
So that car is straight off the line at a
yeah.
blistering pace, I might add.
I knew this was going to be a good event for her. She had a lot of confidence coming
She
into
is
this
just
one.
getting to work.
And she's using her whole body weight to do this.
So while she keeps that power on,
She's got to just keep it going.
she's
keep
just
it
got to
going.
keep it moving. It gets really hard when that car stops.
Yep.
But she's moved, I reckon, about 2 meters so far. She's halfway through her allotted
she's
time.
moving it. It's a consistent pace.
So she is still picking up centimeters here. It's
And this is
still
where it starts
creeping
to get
forward.
tough too. We're heading towards that 60-second mark, and this is when the burn will set in.
She is grinding that winch for every centimetre that she can get, and it is still moving.
She is doing really well.
There
Well
is the
done.
time. Round of applause.
That was a really solid effort.
I reckon she's covered about half the course, maybe even a fraction longer. So that's a huge effort from Tamika, who had come out and open the women's category. So we'll just wait for that official measurement.
Yeah.
3 meters on the dot by the looks of it.
She set the bar high.
That's good.
Yeah.
And just like in the lads with the yoke earlier, like we don't know if that 3 meters is going to be the shortest or a really good score or the best score. Like we just have no idea
Exactly.
until a few more people come out.
And this is one of those events.
All right, so we've got a few more girls in, so we're going to have some girls going on their own before we bring the lads in,
Right.
especially because Sam's opted out of this one. So Taylor takes the winch.
All right. And she's off
She
to a
is
good start as
straight
well.
into it.
But that's the same speed Tamika started off with as
Yep.
well.
It's a good, consistent pace.
Yep.
I'm really interested to see if athletes can actually build speed in this like a truck
yeah,
pull, or whether
yeah,
it's
the
just
momentum.
maintaining is going to be the key to winning.
Yep. Yep.
No, she's moving quite quick. I reckon she's just gone past that 3 meter mark.
Yep.
Yeah, she is working really hard.
Yeah,
It's
she's
good.
moving well. Yeah, this is a good run. Really good run.
There it is.
There. So yeah, so that orange line that's on the track, the back wheel has to
so
get
going
over
back
to get the
wheel to back
distance.
wheel. Yep.
And then the fastest time wins.
Yep.
Yep.
So 2 scores on the board. We've got Tamika with 3 meters banked. We're just waiting to see what Taylor posted. She did finish that 5 meters. It'll be interesting to see how her hands feel after that. She's shaking her forearms out, so
I think we could have a good guess.
probably feeling great.
Yep. Probably the best she's ever felt.
Yeah. So 32.67 seconds
Good
for
time.
Taylor there. That's a good time, just over the halfway point.
Yep.
So that will be interesting to see if any of the other girls can
Go faster
go
than that.
faster than that. Yeah.
All right, so not as fast of a start on this one.
So Maddie is working. Oh, an interesting technique there. She's going tiny little movements rather than really big ones, but she's keeping tension on the car.
It's moving well. I would say this is about the same pace Tamika was moving hers.
So this is where the forearm starts to burn. So she's still just chipping away.
But she's got a good technique there. It's consistent.
Yep. So I reckon she's just moved past the halfway mark and the halfway mark on the time limit. So this is Burn City now.
Yeah.
Those forearms must be hurting.
It's slowing down. Oh,
she's still keeping that tension on. I reckon she's a good chance of finishing here.
About a metre to go.
Come on, work
So
it.
close. And that's it.
So close.
Yeah.
So close. So just running out of time, probably 40 centimetres short of the finish line. So
yeah. Yeah, wow.
4.7 metres. So
very close.
Just an imperial foot off of finishing the course, but shows you the effort that these competitors are putting in. She worked for that solid minute.
Oh, yeah.
Just inching it forward. And, 10 centimetres might be the difference between, second or third or fifth. Like, there could be big points in that.
Yeah.
So definitely don't pack it in
Grip
early.
strength's one of those things you've either got it or you don't. And if you don't, it takes a very long time to build it up.
It does take a long time. Again, small muscle groups.
Yeah.
All right, our first head-to-head. We have Jack versus Josie.
Oh, he's off to a very fast start.
Blazing.
Yeah.
So it is neck and neck in the slowest car race of all time.
Yeah, and who we got on the women?
So we've got Josie moving really quick. She's over the halfway point.
Yep. She's going to record a really good time here.
Yeah, this is fast.
Yeah.
There
we go.
Josie finishes.
Oh, so she takes the win on that. Yeah, 30.18.
And Jack is finished as well.
And he finished the course as well. Solid effort. Oh.
All right, let's have a look. So Josie just inches in front of Taylor there with 30.18 seconds. So she's in the lead. And Jack posts a really good time of 35.55 seconds.
That's going to be hard to beat, I reckon.
It's
a great start.
I'm really
it's a good
interested
benchmark.
to see the spread.
Yeah.
5 metres is a short course, but a lot can happen in that 5 metres.
Oh yeah.
So Ben Kleinberg for the lads, Tanita Northcote for the ladies. Now Ben has been training this hard. I've seen all his videos, and he really loves a bit of grip. So he is just grinding those reps out there. He's got his body weight over.
I did see it slip.
Yep. So what we found in training for this is once it starts to slow down, rather than using hand, one hand at a time to keep it moving quicker, you can stop it and get a hold of it with both hands and twist with both.
Yeah.
It's slower, but it can keep it moving.
Okay.
So the Mustang is just about finished.
Oh.
Tanita is finished, and Ben is just
finished the course, another one.
Bit of palm rubbing over there for Ben.
It looks like he's hurting a bit from that.
It's that tingly sensation you
it's
get
a
when
horrible
you feel
feeling.
like the skin is leaving your hands.
Yeah.
I love it. That's strong, man. So Tanita, 44.25 seconds. So Josie hangs on to the lead there.
All right.
That's a bit of a mix-up, actually.
Yeah.
So Tanita's placed really well in the other two, but she's currently in third.
It's going to mix the points up a bit, isn't it?
Yeah, and then Ben has posted 50.19 seconds. So that's an interesting result.
All right, we got Don next.
Poised and ready.
Dan, sorry. We got Dan
from WA versus Louise from South Australia. So these athletes are travelling a long way to
Yep.
come and tear the skin off their hands, basically.
Yep.
So Dan looks like he's moving really quickly there. Louise is just a little slower, but she's making the centimetres count.
It's interesting. They all have slightly different techniques on how to do it, don't
Which is
they?
crazy considering they've never touched the implement itself. So they must have been training things slightly differently.
Yeah.
That Mustang is almost done. Dan's gone out of the gates real hard, but he's slowed down a bit now. He is fighting for every centimetre.
Both clear, though.
Ooh. So Louise with 44.86.
Oh, wow. That's like 0.54. Is that good math there?
It's close.
Shy of Tanita?
It's close.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's close.
Yeah.
So Josie still holds the lead with 30.18. Now that is proving to be a good score. So that's at least 14 seconds quicker than second and third.
Yeah.
So that's competitive.
And we got Alec.
And Taylor with 32. So,
so she's right there.
Yeah, so we've got 2 clear leaders and then a bit of a jump back to the next 2.
Yeah.
Dan with 48.16. That's a respectable time as well.
Yep.
So we now have Heidi versus Alec.
Yep. Both off to a very fast start.
Alec has blasted out of the gates there on Sandy.
Yep.
Heidi's moving really well with the Mustang as well, though, so this will be close.
It's interesting, like the Sandy's tends to slow down a bit more, but the Mustang is a bit more consistent, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll be interesting if that's the terrain or whether it's just purely the luck of the athletes.
Yeah.
You can get tricked in some strongman events where people will be like, oh, that lane's the slow lane, but like it's purely just luck. That, like, they were the athletes that were in that lane. So both athletes competing the run there. Oh, 35.22 seconds. So Alec has just crept into the lead for the lads.
Wow, that is
35.22, just nudging Jack out there.
Yep.
And then Heidi with 40.16. So that's good points for her. That puts her into third. That's into third.
So we've got Ray up next, and we've got Michael for the men.
Yeah, so the current second place competitors in both men and women.
Yep.
Head to head. I know Ray's put a lot of effort into training this one, so let's see if it pays off.
Oh, yeah. Off to a very fast start.
So Ray, very quick start.
Yeah.
She looks like she's building some speed there too. Yeah, she's building.
Yep.
And then Berry, he's moving fast too. He's got a little bit of whip in that strap.
I was going to say, there's a lot of movement in that strap.
I reckon that can't help. I don't think that's going to help. Ray is blazing this course at the moment. She is a metre out of finishing this.
This might be good enough to pop her in the lead.
I think it could be. So Ray is done.
Oh, that has to be the fastest
see how
so
that
far.
goes. Michael's only 30 seconds out.
Yes. That is the time to beat.
So Ray jumps into the lead with 28.25 seconds.
Yep.
Just waiting for that score for Michael there. .05 for Berry. So that's interesting. He hasn't pipped Jack or Alex. So that's a bit of a points spread for him there.
Oh my goodness, these times are so close.
So Alec and Jack, like hundredths of a second, and then a jump back to Berry with 40.
So that's him in third place.
So last two athletes, our current leaders.
Camilla and
Carl. Life partners.
Yep.
Carl and Camilla. This could be fast, but let's see what happens.
All right.
Oh,
both.
That's fast.
Carl actually was off to a bit of a slow start then. He didn't start straight away.
No, but he's making up ground now. These are both fast times. It looks like
Camilla's
looks
moving
like Sandy
very
slowed
fast.
down a little bit.
Yeah.
Camilla's got the foot down though.
Yep.
Will it be quick enough to beat Ray? That is the question.
It's going to be close.
It will be really
seriously.
close. I reckon. It's hard to judge. I reckon Ray might have this at the moment though.
Oh, I don't know.
We're going to find out.
Well, she's slowing down. Camilla's slowed down.
Oh, this is going to be close.
Oh, I'm on the edge of my seat, Mason.
So Carl's had a stall, actually.
I think Ray got it.
I reckon Ray's got that.
Wow.
That's very interesting.
That's a very
big
good
points
point.
jump. That is
In Ray's
really
favour.
interesting. So Carl is just finishing
And
up.
I think
He's almost there. That time's got to be close now. There.
all right.
Oh, he has. He's completed it,
Just.
I think. We'll wait to see what the official score is. So we can have a look at the ladies. Carl
All
with a
right.
completion time of 38.73 seconds. So,
Who?
Sorry, Carl. Camilla.
Camilla, sorry. Yeah.
I'm getting my South Australians mixed up. So, in the ladies, Camilla posted 38.73 seconds, so not good enough for first. So it looks like Ray has taken it out with 28.25 seconds.
By a decent amount of seconds, so that was a really good, solid effort.
She's just pipped Josie with 30.18, and then Taylor in third with 32.67 seconds.
Yep.
So following that, we go
That's
to
a
Camilla.
good point
so
for Ray going into the fourth event.
That's a 3 or a 4 point spread there in first. So first event win for Ray.
Oh,
Carl has
1 minute
finished
flat.
right on the minute mark.
Wow,
so
that
he has
is
just squeaked it in.
Wow, but that puts him.
All right, I'm here with Ray Vogler, who just won the women's, and in fact, I guess you stonked it in, Ray. That was a terrific result. Now, you've been runner-up to Camilla for the first two events, and you've been very close, but you really brought it that time.
I was pretty happy with that. I was in a completely different mindset then, so I was just like, oh, clear, all right, we're done, sweet. So, it was fun. I enjoyed that. So, yeah.
It's a tough-looking event with all, I guess it's all forearm strength, isn't it? I mean, was it as hard as it looked?
It actually wasn't too bad. The biggest thing I would definitely say is, like, just keep going, don't stop, because then that will really stall you. But, nah, really enjoyed it. It was fun.
All right, thank you, Ray. Now, before anyone goes, we've got a prize pack for the male and female winners from ARB. Thank you very much to ARB at Caboolture with some Tread Pros. So if you ever get bogged, you don't have to pull it out like that. And the male winner... And from ARB at Caboolture... What do we got here? Oh, we got a few bits and pieces. So anyway, I've been giving you a hard time all day because you didn't return your form. So you're from South Australia. Tell us a bit more about yourself.
I've been doing this is year 3 now. Got good old Carl coaching me, which is why finally sticking to it, doing some good work now. And yeah, just been training at the gym, Fast Switch, which I manage. So you should all sign up. Oh, yeah.
There you go. Hopefully bonus coming your way from Fast Switch. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We'll be back shortly for the 4th and final event of the day. And, of course, tomorrow we'll have another 4 events in the lightweight men and women's strongest man. Thanks very much, guys. See you all shortly.
All right, so that last heat, what a mix-up for points for the men.
Yeah, well, for both.
Yeah.
Both. Yeah, so we've seen Ray take her first event win.
Yes,
And then
yep.
she's actually put a couple of points in between her and Camilla on that one.
Well...
we'll have to wait until we see the official standings overall
Yep.
to see if that has closed the gap between them.
Yeah.
But wait until we see the data. Same with the lads. So
Yep.
A win for Alec Wallace from South Australia.
Yep.
Closely followed by Jack, who actually opened. So he had no reference and has put up the second quickest time.
Yep.
So that's really cool. Now, I'm going to throw it out there. So the prizes just got given out. Compliments of ARB.
Capalaba.
Yeah, oh man, I nearly did it wrong again. I'm so Victorian. So Ray won the event. Her partner, other Mason, was actually driving the vehicle. He liked the look of the prize. I reckon he might have popped it into first and like maybe given her a little. Oh no, he was in the wrong vehicle.
Yeah.
So there was no collusion. No collusion. He was very happy about the win.
He's
there.
definitely claimed that prize.
He has
for
already.
sure.
Yeah, he has. So really interesting results there. That wraps up event number 3, the worst carpool ever.
And it wasn't that bad.
I don't reckon it was that bad.
It was all right.
We'll go and get some. We'll go and get some feedback from the
Yeah,
athletes
yeah,
after
yeah.
this. But should we pop it in at Sydney then, instead of the car flip?
Nah, I'll take the car flip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know.
You never know.
I don't know. Nah, the car flip. It's be all right. We haven't seen a car flip in a long time, but we also have never seen this.
There's many reasons why we haven't seen a car flip for a very long time. But that was a really exciting event for slow-moving vehicles. Like there was some good score mix-ups, which was cool.
Yeah.
We are going to take a short break. We will be back at roughly 7 o'clock local time for the Bilson's freight race. So that's 2 frames head-to-head. They got slabs full of Bilson's cordial and tinnies on them. The athletes have asked me quite often whether if they win they can take a slab home.
Take a couple home.
The answer is no, because they've got to go to the next show and then the next show. So that will be coming up soon. It'll be a really fast finish to the day's events.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we'll be back shortly. Stick around.
My name is Jack. I'm Dan.
I'm Samuel.
And what weight class are you guys?
Under 80s.
Start with the big question. Who do you think is going to win this weekend?
Carl.
Carl, yeah. It's pretty hard to not say Carl with his pedigree, but
Who's going to win? Starting off the big one.
Oh, Carl? Why the big one? It'd be the first time in my life I've ever been called that.
I think Ben. No, I think he's still delirious from his late cut.
Carlos.
Me.
You are a lot of people's favourites to win. Do you think you're going to be able to back this up?
Oh, I am Carl Sherry and I am strongman. In reality, I'm pretty broken, to be honest. So if my body holds together, I am capable. But the wheels have got to stay on. So we'll see. Like, it's anyone's a chance, I guess. And there's a few, X Factor events that are a bit random. So yeah, we will see. So yes, historically, I do quite well. But again, I'm not exactly in top. I had an Achilles rupture. I tore my calf last week. So my springiness isn't there. So I'll push press this weekend. I would like to get back to jerking, but at the moment, yeah, my body's just not ready.
Any dark horses you're suspecting this weekend, first of all, in your weight class?
You know, I always think everybody's a threat. If something real bad happens to Carl that I have nothing to do with, very good.
You don't need to. I'm had everything bad happen to me. I'm here being held together by tape today, so you don't actually need to add fuel to the fire. And if I survive this one, I'll definitely break next week. Yeah. Hey, boys. So yeah, no.
He's Alec.
Yeah.
Alec for sure is going to be up there. He's competed against him in a couple of comps, couple of moving events. He's fast. He's always fast.
Yeah, it's been coached by Carl as well.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of got the inside scoop on like Carl's movements today.
Like Wallace? Was it just Alec?
Well, a lot of people have counted you as a dark horse. Some people have overlooked you. How do you think you're gonna go?
I feel pretty good. If things go as planned, I'd hope podium. So I do back myself that I'll do well. Persisting cramps, stay out of it. I'd like to get the frame, freight, and stones would be nice.
And how do you feel competing against your coach? Now, who is your coach?
Kyle Sherry. One of the best. Yeah, it's exciting. It's good to first time ever competing against him, so should be good. I know from training with him that I'm a little bit speedier, so should get him hopefully on some quick events. But yeah, good luck. Made a best man win. It should be a good day. I hope everyone pulls their weight and does their best. Yeah.
Sweet. Thank you very much, Alan.
Beautiful. Thank you.
My name is Jack. I'm Dan.
I'm Samuel.
And what weight class are you guys?
Under 80s.
Start with the big question. Who do you think is going to win this weekend?
Carl,
yeah. It's pretty hard to not say Carl with his pedigree, but
who's going to win? Starting off the big one.
Oh, Carl? Why the big one? That'd be the first time in my life I've ever been called that.
I think Ben.
No,
I think he's still delirious from his late cut.
Carlos,
me.
You are a lot of people's favourites to win. Do you think you're going to be able to back this up?
Oh, I am Carl Sherry and I am strongman. In reality, I'm pretty broken, to be honest. So if my body holds together, I am capable, but the wheels have got to stay on. So we'll see. Like, it's anyone's a chance, I guess. And there's a few, X Factor events that are a bit random. So yeah, we will see. So yes, historically, I do quite well, but again, I'm not exactly in top. I had an Achilles rupture. I tore my calf last week, so my springiness isn't there. So I'll push press this weekend. I would like to get back to jerking, but at the moment, yeah, my body's just not ready.
Any dark horses you're suspecting this weekend, first of all, in your weight class?
I always think everybody's a threat. If something real bad happens to Carl that I have nothing to do with, Gary's good.
You don't need to. I'm I've had everything bad happen to me. I'm here and being held together by coke today, so you don't actually need to add fuel to the fire. And if I survive this one, I'll definitely break next week. Yeah. Hey, the boys. So yeah, no.
Alec.
Yeah.
Alec for sure is going to be up there. He's competed against him in a couple of comps, couple of moving events. He's fast. He's always fast.
Yeah, it's been coached by Carl as well.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of got the inside scoop on like Carl's movements today.
Like Wallace? Was it just Alec?
Well, a lot of people have counted you as a dark horse. Some people have overlooked you. How do you think you're going to go?
I feel pretty good. If things go as planned, I'd hope podium. So I do back myself that I'll do well. Persisting cramps, stay out of it. I'd like to get the frame, freight, Frame freight and stones would be nice.
And how do you feel competing against your coach? Now, who is your coach?
Kyle Sherry. One of the best. Yeah, it's exciting. It's good to first time ever competing against him, so should be good. I know from training with him that I'm a little bit speedier, so should get him hopefully on some quick events. But yeah, good luck. Made a best man win. It should be a good day. I hope everyone pulls their weight and does their best. Yeah.
Sweet. Thank you very much, Alan.
Beautiful. Thank you.
All right, we are back at the shed at Meatstock Toowoomba. We're still just preparing the course for the final event for the first day, the Bilson's Freight Race. We're just waiting on some overall placings to come in, and we'll have a look how that is shaping up coming into this event. A couple of possible lead chains coming out of the last event, but wait until we see the scores on that one. So, the Zercher carry. So we've called it the Freight Race. It's a fancy name. It's essentially a Zercher carry. So the Zercher carry, it's a bar. It can be a yoke, or it can be anything that's carried in the crook of the arms. It's not just limited to a carry. It can be a Zercher squat. So you'll actually pick up a bar out of a rack and then squat it. Or it can be a Zercher deadlift off the ground, or even a Zercher clean, which is picking it up off the ground in the crook of the arms and then up to the shoulders. It's not a fun time, but it is what it is. So we're just doing the most common version of it, the Zercher carry today. The athletes will pick up the bar in the crook of their arms, sprint down 10 meters, stop, turn around, get under the yoke and come back 10 meters. Fastest time wins. I'll confirm the weights, but I believe the ladies is 130 kilos, and I'll have to check the lads. I can see. So, just having a look at the overall placings leading into this last event. We've got Tamika with 2 points, Maddie Heath with 5, Taylor Bartz with 12.5, Tanita Northcote with 14, and then just 1 point ahead we have Louise Story with 15. Then half a point ahead is Josie with 15.5, and then there's a bit of a jump up to Heidi with 19. And then in second place, we have Camilla Fogagnolo with 24. And then by 1 point out in front, we have Ray Vogler. So that last event has switched up that leaderboard, but we have 5 events still to go. So there is loads of time for all those points to change. For the gents, we have Ben Kleinberg with... So we have Samuel Rice with 1 point. We have Ben Kleinberg with 6. And Samuel was unable to actually do that last event due to a hand injury, but he is actually jumping back in on this next one. We then have Jack Allsbrook with 11 points, who came second in that last event. There were some good points for him. We have Dan Bonney from WA in 12.5. In third place, Alec Wallace with 16.5. That event win really helping him out there. And then we actually have another leaderboard change there with Carl Sherry on 16 points and Michael Berry taking the lead with 1 point over Carl with 17. So once again, lots more events for all of those to shuffle, but every point counts and lots of things can change at any event. So Big G's just joined me. Where'd you go? You go and have a snack?
I had to go to the ladies.
For a snack?
No.
It's Meatstock. I can't wait till we can go and have a snack.
I'd actually seen someone walk past before and they had a waffles ice cream. Oh my goodness,
man.
it looks
Why
so
did you
good.
tell me that?
I'm getting that after this.
Yeah,
sorry,
absolutely.
Max, my nutritionist, that will probably be watching this. Sorry, not sorry. I will be going to get waffles after this.
Excellent.
How can you not? You have to eat the food here. It's the meat stock.
Absolutely. And sometimes the lines get pretty grim, but hopefully we'll duck out and we'll get a
Well, by the time we're finished, maybe people might be a bit too...
I think it gets worse.
Oh, okay.
But we'll find out.
Yeah. It's all right.
There's 5 more minutes of warm-ups. The athletes are clanging and banging out there. So just updating you, G, we've had a lead change. So that
makes it spicy.
Yeah, that wrist roller did mix it up at the top.
Okay.
So we've got Ray and Michael Berry just pipping Carl and Camilla by a point now. So there was that point shift.
Oh, wow.
So by...
Okay.
Yeah,
Camilla was sitting by 1 point, wasn't she?
She would have been out by 2.
2 points.
Because
Yep.
she had 2 event wins and Ray came second
and
twice. So
yeah.
there's 2 points.
So that's 2
ahead.
points.
But then that spread between Ray winning and Camilla coming 4th, I think.
So she
just
ended
has
4th.
That 3,
Wow.
That 3
See,
point
anything
flip
can happen. Anything can happen.
But that being said, like, lots of events.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of points to pick up.
Yeah.
And the consistency of Camilla and Carl will suggest that there's not likely going to be a bomb event in there. So
no.
That can really hurt an athlete on the points table, especially in deeper fields where if there's 10 or 12 or 15 points up for grabs, if you have a bomb event and drop 14 points, you're way down that list.
Oh, yeah. You'd want to be well ahead of the pack to lose that many points.
Yep. And, generally,
to have
if
it
you're
not
that far
affect
ahead, you probably won't be.
Yeah.
Many competitions, high level and at our level, have been won by competitors that potentially don't even win an event.
Yeah, just consistent.
But they're consistent across all 5.
Mm-hmm.
They're only giving away a point here and there, but then sometimes someone that comes first in an event might come last in another one, and that puts them down the ranks. So we see that time and time again where really consistent athletes can take out a championship without actually winning an event.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to see that today because we've already had wins by multiple athletes.
But it can happen, and it
it
does
certainly
happen.
Can happen.
That's why when, something I say to my clients when they get bummed out about not being that great at one event, I always say there's more than one event to strongman. That's why it's a series of events over a couple of days. You can't be the best at everything.
Yep. I guess the flip side of that, though, is when you get to the really high level, you can't have one bad
No,
event.
you can't.
Yeah,
No,
so like
because
when
it can be won or lost over half a point.
Like as you're learning, take your wins where you can. You're going to have ones that aren't great, but then, get points where you can because it's a win. At the top level, you can't have those gaps because it can just put you down.
Exactly,
So, couple more minutes of warm-ups here. It's clanging and banging.
Good to see them moving quick through their warm-ups, though. I think the Yoke event definitely got a firecracker up a few athletes. If they want to get their warm-ups done, they got to jump in and get it going.
Pretty warm.
Yeah, so I think they're all well.
I wouldn't want to do this too much more than my run, to be perfectly honest.
No.
Like, I want to make sure I can pick the weight, get the legs moving, and then
I'd be doing 3 runs max in the warm-up, and that's it.
And then waffles.
After.
Yeah, nice. So we'll take a moment while they're doing their last warm-up. We're going to mention earlier, but for people at home that are watching this, we've been talking about it all night. These are the best athletes in the country, in their weight class, in some cases in the world. So in the ladies, Camilla
and Ray
place second in the world in the under 64s, and Ray plays fourth.
Exactly.
So not only are they battling out to be Australia's strongest woman, they're top 5 in the world. So high level. But that being said, you don't need to be at that level or trying to be at that level to actually
be here.
No, not even be here, but to enjoy training strongman.
Yeah, no.
So the movements are all functional. They're like everyday movements that we've taken to the extreme for entertainment and for competition. But at the end of the day, they're functional things that anybody at home can go to a gym and a gym that offers strongman, I suppose, and start to learn them and just enjoy getting a bit stronger.
That's it.
Doing things that they couldn't do. You don't have to worry about being a high level competitor.
No, you don't. You can just do it. And just like you would go to the gym and just train normally. Like, you could just go to the gym and train strongman instead.
And sort of like you said with novice competitors, like, take your wins where you can.
Yeah.
And, like, your goal doesn't have to be, I'm going to be the strongest. Maybe your goal is just to be able to press a 35-kilo log. And maybe that's it. Maybe that's the heaviest log that you ever do. But if you can only do a 10-kilo log, your goal of 35 is huge.
That's it. And not everyone wants to be an elite athlete either.
Most people don't.
No, it's the
and to be
1% of us that
most
do.
people can't be.
No,
either.
that's right.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, we always say that everyone can be whatever they want, but like when you get to the real top, it's the freaks.
Yeah.
And that's okay, but everybody can still...
That's across the board for every sport.
It is. It
yeah.
is.
But, and like everyone that's competing here has earned their invite and deserves to be here. So it's really good to see them giving it absolutely everything they've got.
Yep.
And I can't see any of them that aren't like giving it their all.
No, they're all full tilt.
So it's exciting to watch, and I'm really glad to be here watching it.
Let's have a look. They're almost ready to go.
Yeah.
We are going to cut to a video of what this freight race looks like.
Bilson's freight race. On the judges' signal, athletes will carry a load of Bilson's beverages up and down a 10-metre course. Athletes must carry the load Zercher style in the crook of their elbows. The fastest time wins. If they are unable to complete the distance within the 60-second time cap, they'll be granted a distance score. Unlimited drops are allowed, but intentional sliding will incur a time or distance penalty.
All right. So that's what a Zercher carry looks like. It'll be fast, I think.
It will be fast.
10 down, 10 back is pretty quick.
Yeah, I think the weight for the women is a good weight where they should all move it pretty speedy. And it's going to come down to the seconds. Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Yep. So we are...
any big mess up with technique will cost points.
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah, these are going to be hundreds of milliseconds in it, I reckon.
Yeah.
So Bilson's Brewery down in Victoria have sponsored this event. They're it's a really cool story. We won't go into it too much right now, but it's a small family business that has blown up to putting their beverages in supermarkets and bottle shops all around the country. They're based in Beechworth, up in the high country in Victoria. It's funny, I actually spoke with the owner back in 2019 before COVID kicked off, and they had just opened, and he said to me, we're going to have all of our drinks in supermarkets everywhere in the country. And I didn't laugh at him, but I kind of went, okay, that's ambitious.
It's a big dream. That's everyone's.
That's a big thing. And fast forward 3 years, they've
done it.
They've done it.
Wow, that's incredible.
If you haven't experienced it, they've got every flavour under the sun.
I have had them before, and they're great. Yeah.
So it's
Australia's Strongest International.
Yep. They sponsored that one as well.
Yeah.
So, all the flavours under the sun, both alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks.
Yeah.
Personal favourite? Can you remember?
They got a passion fruit one, hey?
They do have a passion fruit.
Yeah, it was that one.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, it's watermelon for me, but like they got things on there like a Lamington flavoured.
Oh, get
cordial.
out. Stop.
I haven't tried it, but I'm like, how does that work?
Does that taste good in a drink? I mean, why wouldn't it? It's chocolate.
I mean, it's Lamington. It's strange though, like to have that in a cordial. But yeah,
we're
it's
about
delicious.
to go.
Yeah, I think we're good to go. Yeah, so we are going to cut to the floor. Tim is taking it over.
Men and women, the 64-kilo women and, of course, the 80-kilo men. We have the Bilson's freight carry. Thank you very much to Bilson's Brewing for sponsoring that. These are Zercher Yoke type implements. In the crook of their arms, the athletes will carry them 10 metres, turn around and bring them back 10 metres. So the girls will carry 130 kilos, the men will carry 210. The girls, of course, we have two girls going by themselves first, and then it'll be different genders in different aisles. So Tamika Mead, the Queenslander, will be our first athlete up. Little Meeks to her friends. Trains out of Northside Strength there in Caboolture. Judge.
We have Tamika in the close lane to us. She's taking that position.
This is a good event for her. She's going to be quick. That's
moving
it.
Fast.
She's doing well. She's doing well.
She's got to watch those slides, but that's okay.
That's it.
She's cleared the first lap.
She's got to go back.
Ducks under.
That's it. So
yeah, this is where it hurts. So that return lap.
But she's moving well. Well done.
There we go.
I was looking forward to this event for her.
Good.
Yeah, I knew it was a strength. So
All right, we'll just wait for that time to come in.
Great job for Tamika.
So, benchmark for the ladies, 22.02 seconds.
That
so
is speedy.
Straight up, we're looking at quick times.
Yeah.
So.
She'll be happy with that, I know. Yeah.
And she should be. So, like,
oh, yeah.
Anything under halfway in a time domain in strongman is always a good time.
For sure.
Now, whether everybody else is faster, like, you'll never know that. But,
Yeah.
like, we set events up that, like, you should be aiming to do well at that halfway point.
Yeah.
If you're in the 40 or 50 or 55 second range, like,
Yeah,
you know
you're
you're working
hurting.
hard. You're
You're
working hard. So,
You're definitely
22
hurting.
seconds is a really good time to start with.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Maddie Heath. They're just adjusting that height of the yoke. It's really important that that is set to the right height. If it's too low, you've got to pick it up too far. If it's too high, you can't get it off the ground. So, sets up in that searcher position.
All right, so she's off to a
All
good
right,
start.
Maddie is working.
All right, a very first
Clears that first
10
meters with ease. Now she's got to get that pick right.
Yep.
That
You
looks
can
heavy.
see that's hard.
Yeah, that's,
Yep. But she's moving well.
I think the pretty colours are sort of giving a false indication of how heavy that actually is.
I think so, yep. Oh, just pipped Tamika.
Ooh, 21.65
Yeah, so close.
seconds.
So close.
Well, less than a second in it.
Yeah. That's the thing. This is going to be so close across the board. So we have our first male competitor up, Sam. He's back.
So we got head-to-head.
Yep.
Sam's got his hand all taped up, but he's going to go for it anyway.
He's moving.
He is
it's
moving.
It's not stopping him.
He loves a moving event, Sam.
And Louise, she's
He's
doing
not
a
holding
really
back.
good job.
Yeah, these are getting faster and faster now. Louise is past. Sam is done. Great fight there from
Both
Sam.
really
he's
fast
patched himself
times.
up, but he's still come out. Ooh, that's getting fast now.
Holy.
So 14.78 for Louise.
Wow.
Just waiting for Sam's time. 16.85 to open the accounts for the lads.
This is exciting.
Yeah, this is cool.
This is fast.
I love a fast event to finish tonight. It's good. So just setting those heights there. We've got Carl up next for the lads.
And
so
Tanita.
Carl will look to probably bank back some of those points, I reckon, from the worst
he'll be
pool.
working real
He'll be
hard.
fast.
Yeah.
He'll be moving quick.
Yep. So the athletes just making sure their heights are all correct.
This is going to be fast.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Straight off
oh,
the
yeah.
line for
Oh, yeah.
Carl.
Oh, yeah. Look how fast they are both moving.
Head-to-head.
Between them, there's nothing. Oh, he's lost some weight.
I mean,
What do you do?
What do you do?
What do you do? In a situation like that, what do you do? It bounced off. Does that mean he was just too fast?
Too fast.
Impressive run for both of them.
Yeah.
I mean, it was 10 kilos. When it comes to the men, how much of a difference is that going to make? If anything, it'll make it harder because it's unbalanced.
Well, let me do some quick maths there. So the men are doing 210. So if we said that was 200, that would be 5% difference. So 5.1% difference. But, you know, that's the thing.
I think it would unbalance it, which would make it slightly a bit harder. Yeah.
So, Carl with 12.15 seconds.
He was
I
not
don't know
mucking
how
about.
that can be beat.
No.
But we'll find out.
There was no mucking about.
No.
Who we got? Ben.
And then Tanita was
Heidi.
only just behind him with 13.6 seconds. So, Heidi versus Ben.
All right. Okay, good. Heidi off to a really good
is
start.
blazing.
All right. You don't want to muck about on that turn. You want
Ben's
to
got
be
his first
really
10 metres
fast.
sorted.
All right. A little stumble there for Heidi.
Yeah, just coming up short on the line, but she's finished it. Ben's moving really quickly, though. This is good. I think we're going to see every athlete finish this.
100%, yeah.
We named it the Freight Race, and it's that.
For a reason,
They're
yep.
racing. So.
All right.
Ben Kleinberg, 24.42.
That
Heidi
12
with
seconds from
15
Carl is going to
flat.
be hard to beat.
Yeah, I
can't see it.
That will be tough.
He
That
was
will be tough
flying.
to beat. Yeah.
And that's the thing, like once those speed wobbles take over, it's hard to catch that
Hard
without
to
dropping
arrest
it.
yeah, or at least taking a lot of pace off your run.
Yeah.
So smooth and fast.
That's it.
So Dan
All
from
right.
WA.
Oh, fast start for Camilla.
Is all the way over, straight under, straight back. That transition couldn't have been quicker. That was wild. Borderline reckless, but that's almost what you need to try and pip those times. So Camilla has absolutely blitzed that.
Yep.
All right, Dan with 30.57 and Camilla with 12.13 seconds. So she has shaved another second off the lead. So
Camilla and Carl almost have identical times.
200ths of a second different.
They're too good.
All
right,
right. Taylor in the close lane, Michael Berry in the far.
Wow, they're moving. Really, really fast turnaround there for Taylor.
Taylor is moving really well.
She
This is going to be a great time. Berry's going to have to watch that slide.
Oh, he's sliding that.
Yeah,
wow.
Be
That was a
interesting to
big
see
slide.
If they give him a penalty for that one, but I think they will. I'll just check in on that one.
Did he hurt himself? Oh, no, he's all right. He's walking it off. So we'll wait to see what happened there. How they're going to score that? Will they give him a distance?
Yeah, a little bit of conversation there with the head ref and Hannah, the timekeeper, just to see if Berry's going to cop a penalty.
2-second penalty.
Yeah, so it does look like he's copped a 2-second penalty.
All right.
With sliding, it can obviously be used to your advantage, and it looks like Berry...
In this event, it could definitely. It looked like he just tripped, to be honest, and he just went with it.
Like, if it's sliding, you're not carrying it.
Oh,
so
yeah.
whether it's accidental or deliberate...
Penalty definitely needed to be given.
Yeah, so they'll have added 2 seconds to his time, so he has gone to 18.14 seconds. Still a great time.
All right.
And Taylor with 15.45. That was fast. So now Josie, she's moving well. There's the first lap. Jack's got the first lap. He's got to set himself up.
Good pick.
Josie's moving fast. Huge paces. She's finished. Jack is just trying to finish that lap.
Solid effort. He finished really well there.
He went out like a bull out of the gate, and then it just caught up with him at the end. So Josie with 17.18 seconds. That's fast.
Wow. So we're on to our last runs now. We've got Ray and Alec.
So the overall leader, Ray.
All right.
Versus Alec, who we know is fast.
Ray is moving fast. She's not mucking around.
Can she just pip Camilla to take that top spot?
I think she's got it.
This is so fast.
I think she's got it.
Oh, man, this is going to come down to the wire.
Look, I'm going to... I reckon she got it.
Let's have a look.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, so close. So close.
Wow. My heart rate's up and I'm not even out
Ray
there.
with 12.43. She has just been pipped by Camilla at 12.13.
Wow.
There is...
Well, much needed points for Camilla to climb her way back up to the top there, but a good finish for Ray.
There we go. So Camilla just held on to that lead by
Yep.
0.03 of a second over Ray. That was so close.
My heart rate's still up, Mason.
Back on top. So Carl has also just pipped Alex by like hundredths of a second. Like, we knew that was going to be fast, but that's just silly.
How interesting is that Camilla and Carl's...
So I'm here with Carl and Camilla, of course. They both came in as defending champions. They both, I guess, stuffed up the last event and both got pushed back the ranks a bit. And they've both come back with a dominating display in the Bilson's carry. So tell me, how important was it to get a good result here?
Well, when you shit the bed, you've got to clean it up. And because I shit the bed pretty hard in the last one, had to dust off those sheets and scrub pretty hard. So happy to get that one done.
So, Camilla, you also soiled your bed, and how did that go for you?
Yeah, I didn't like it. It wasn't the best time I've ever had. Yeah, it was very important to make this pretty much a flawless run because, yeah, Ray is quick, and the other girls too, amazing. Tanita had a perfect run too, so, yep, this one was it was really tight.
And obviously you got another 4 events tomorrow. We'll get into recovery tonight.
You go.
Well, again, I feel pretty good. So if anyone wants to stick around and do 4 events now, I'm keen. But if not, make sure you're here tomorrow, 12 o'clock kickoff, and we'll put on a show.
I think Carl said he's going to wear his undies again tomorrow. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Carl, Camilla. Well done in the last event. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for supporting the lightweight Australia's strongest man and woman today here at Meatstock. We will be back tomorrow, as Carl said. I can't promise he'll be in his undies, but maybe it'll be your birthday and he will be. So we'll be back tomorrow. 4 more events for the lightweight men and women. And, of course, on Sunday we'll be back with the Masters. Thank you very much. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to Meatstock. Good night. We'll see you all tomorrow.
What are we on?
Well, there we have it.
What a way to finish day one.
Yeah, so, I mean, we're still just waiting for the overall scores to come in. I don't want to comment, but I'm doing the quick math, and I reckon it looks like in the ladies, I think Ray and Camilla will now be tied in first. But we'll wait for the scores. I think Carl will probably move into outright first over Michael, but, again, we'll wait for those scores. So, Bilson's freight race.
That was exciting.
We said it was going to be a race.
Yeah.
It did not disappoint.
No.
There was hundredths of milliseconds splitting them. It got a bit reckless down the end, but why not? You're not carrying it on your shoulders.
There was a little bit of excitement there with one penalty.
Yeah, one penalty. So Michael just had a bit of a well, he had 2 so penalties, you get a warning for your first one, and then a 2-second penalty for your next one. You do it a third time, you get 0. So don't do it a third time. But we are just waiting for the scoring desk to send that info through to us. We'll do the wrap-up after that, but we'll talk quickly about tomorrow's events, because hopefully viewers at home will tune in again. Now, if you want to watch tomorrow, it's not the same time. We are kicking off at midday Queensland time, so 1 p.m. Melbourne and Sydney, but midday Queensland time, so not 4 o'clock. We have 4 events. We have the
frame carry up first. So it's.
I had a chat with some of the athletes out the back between those events. Their hands are hurting. So frame carry.
It's going to be tough.
Pick up frame with your hands and carry as fast as you can. So we'll see.
Then the next event after that's the overhead medley.
Yep. So we talked about it a little bit earlier. If you missed that, 3 overhead implements as fast as you can. So a log. Press it overhead, a giant monster dumbbell, so the biggest dumbbell you've ever seen, position on your shoulder, press it overhead with one hand, finish that, then you go on to the crazy anchor yoke, which is definitely the trickiest out of the 3 of them.
Yes, it is. But it's just 1 rep of each, and fastest time wins.
So again, like almost a race. And I think there'll be some pretty quick times in there.
I think so,
similar to what we've just seen.
And then after that, we've got the deadlift for reps.
Yep, so about as simple as you can get in a strongman event. Deadlift as many times as you can.
But there's a twist to the deadlift bar, though.
There is. So they're on a standard barbell, but instead of just using plates like you'd see at the gym, we've got 2 giant Atlas stones.
Yes.
That ordinarily you'd only pick one of them up, which is hard enough. They're stuck on the end of the bar. So it looks cool. It looks like the old school circus stuff. It puts a fair bit more bend into the bar. So instead of it sort of behaving normally like a barbell would, it will whip and bend a fair bit more. So
I'm looking forward to watching that event.
I'd be looking forward to getting the photos.
I know there's going to be some girls that are doing 10 reps or more.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that's they're heavyweights, but it'll be interesting.
It will
be.
be.
Then we finish the show with the classic strongman event, the Atlas Stone Series. So the same stones that was, well, not the same stones, similar stones.
Yeah.
Big giant concrete balls, 5 of them. Throw them over bar as fast as you can. Person who finishes
Who doesn't
it first,
love a stone event?
Oh, it's the best.
I know I do.
The shirts will be off, the tacky will be on.
Yes.
The hair will be stuck to the stones.
Good viewing for everyone.
Good viewing for everyone.
Yep.
There's usually some carry on, but I mean,
what strongman event doesn't have any carry on?
No. I guess what we'd be really hoping for as commentators and promoters is that, you do all of those events, and then in the categories, maybe there's only a point between them at the end, or maybe they're level on points, and then
it comes right down to the stones,
and that would be nuts.
Yes,
because I know in the women we have got 2 extremely high-level stone loaders.
Yes,
and in the gents, same deal. So like Carl, not known for his stone loading, Barry, not so much either, but some of the other lads might actually come in and
it's going to
upset
upset some points.
So
yeah,
that'll be really interesting. Great way to finish the show.
Yes.
We'll just have a quick check-in and see where those overall placings are. A little bit of checking off there. Just want to make 100% sure that we're giving you the right details before we log off. What event are you most excited about tomorrow?
Oh, you know what?
I know you love a stone. So
I do.
I know earlier when I introduced G, Australia's strongest woman ×2, first strongest woman in the world, she also has lifted the heaviest Atlas stone by a woman
ever
yes. in the whole world. Now, not even in the gym lifts or anything like that,
no.
ever.
Yeah.
She's done a 175 kilo concrete ball over a 4-foot bar, and I had a front row seat with relative ease, I'm going to say.
Look, and you know how everyone likes to throw around that plenty more in the tank phrase? I think I did have a little bit more in the tank that day.
Because they're not plate loaded, we couldn't just pop another 10 kilos on. I was like, sorry, I didn't bring 185 kilo stone. So I did stitch you up years ago.
Yeah.
At ASM
2019. Yes.
When we also did max stone.
Yes.
We bought 150 kilo stone.
Thinking...
Well, 3 women broke the Australian record.
You didn't think anyone was going to. It was, not in a bad way. I mean, like, it was at that time.
It didn't seem plausible that we needed a 160.
Exactly.
We did have a 170. That didn't move at the time. So I stitched her up then, but we custom made a 175 for you.
Yeah.
Just didn't make a 185.
But look, we might see that in the near future. Who knows?
That or a bit more. But
maybe.
We'll talk about that tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I'll bail you up on national live stream.
Then I can't back out,
Then you can't back out. But,
I see what's happening here.
So, favourite event for tomorrow?
I'm actually going to go the deadlift.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to go the deadlift.
Also does enjoy a deadlift.
I do, yes.
G pulled 290 kilos a few weeks ago. Was it 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, nearly 3 weeks ago.
So that's it's not the world record, but that's like right up there for like heaviest deadlifts. So getting a confirmation that we have the day one placings for the ladies. We got Tamika with 3 points, Maddie with 7, Taylor Bartz with 16.5, Josie just edging in front with 18.5. Louise Story has just jumped ahead with 21, but then equal points then with Tanita also on 21. And then in the top 3, we've got Heidi with 24, and then tied for first is Ray and Camilla. So they are head-to-head.
Wow.
Locked on points after day one.
But anything can happen.
Anything can happen, but I can't get any closer than that after day one, which is super exciting.
Yep.
As for the gents, we've got Sam with a really courageous effort on that event, being injured after an early one. He's got 6 points. Ben Kleinberg has banked 9. Jack Alsbrook has 13 points. Dan Bonney with 13.5, just out in front there. In third place, we've got Michael Berry, who's just popped back into third there with 21. And then Alec Wallace with an event win on the car pull and then a really fast time on the freight races. Actually edged up into second with 22.5. And then
Carl,
half a point ahead is Carl Sherry. So, I mean...
He needed that event win.
He did. And, he turned it on. So
yeah, he did. Yeah.
That is... you couldn't want any more out of day
No,
one.
it's exciting.
The top is all locked up, and we've got some really good battles in
Yeah.
third, fourth, and fifth. So
Yep.
4 events, it could go anyway.
It
But
literally could.
We don't have a clear leader yet, which is really good.
Yeah.
That's great. So, hope you've enjoyed today's viewing.
Yes, I have.
We've got 4 more events tomorrow. Don't forget 12 p.m. midday Queensland time, or 1 on Eastern Daylight Saving Standard time, Melbourne, Sydney.
Yeah, they'll be able to figure it out.
4 events. We will crown who is the strongest man and woman in the lightweight divisions tomorrow. We'll catch you then.
See you then.